we're gonna power through this little intro, but hi, we're back for this week. It's gonna be a bit of a unique session here to start with, but we'll figure it out as we go. Picking up from where we left off, the group, having returned to Sigil, celebrated Saint's Passage with the Adventurers Guild. A holiday of safe travels and remembrance for all adventurers that go on adventures. The next day, they decided it was time to go seek out Phoebe, Sybil's little sister, who might be able to help them with some insight into what this lodestone that they found in Barovia actually was. They met Phoebe and her graduate school advisor, Professor Grundle. Yep. Get it out. Wherein the two informed the party that the lodestone seemed to be some object attuned to a different plane entirely, and to give them about a day to research what they could. The group accepted this and went on their jolly way, with some of the group rushing to Sybil's mother's house, where Sybil had stormed off in a fury, having learned that Oberon has sent some kind of envoy to protect her mother that just so happened to be hot elves.
Yeah, don't don't forget that part.
Meanwhile, Kess had wandered off as Kess is wont to do, and was taken by Churning Waters, their old contact with the Thieves Guild, to meet with the Pale Gaze, the master of the Thieves Guild himself. Meeting with him, he demanded the lodestone from Kess. Kess, being the individual she was, simply said no. Obstinate, she continued to say no until he relented and decided to use her as bait for the rest of the group.
And thus was the rest of the fucking session.
And thus was Kess kidnapped. The group, on their way back to the Adventurers Guild, assuming they'd run into Kess, were proven to have a correct assumption. But they ran into Kess as she was kidnapped by Churning Waters and her gang. However, Churning Waters informed the group that the method in which the Thieves Guild did things was on the strangely honorable side of things, where instead of going by brute force alone, they would engage in what they considered to be honorable combat, in which they would fight the group. If the group lost, they would be forced to give up what the Thieves Guild requested. If the group won, the Thieves Guild would leave them be, and perhaps try again in a more diplomatic route. The group didn't want to do either of these, and walked off. Thanks to the Thieves Guild being quote-unquote honorable, they were allowed to do so. Churning Waters gave them a tool to call upon her should they decide to take up the guild on their offer. The next day came, and the group split up. Kess decided that to learn what the Thieves Guild truly wanted, she would return to Barovia to possibly retrieve one of the lesser lodestones that was left behind. Clive decided to go with her, keep an eye on her. Sybil, Mari, and Navori wished to go back to Phoebe, it being the next day, to get some information about what she and Professor Grundle discerned about the lodestone. Minnow, meanwhile, remained behind. Yet to be seen what precisely she wished to do. Perhaps to file paperwork, or speak to her Aunt Ardania, or just to simply get some quiet time away from these insane people. And we're going to pick up with Kess and Clive first. The rest of you, just hang tight. So, Kess and Clive, you guys have left the Adventurers Guild now, heading back out to the streets of Sigil. I assume you're just heading straight for the portal to Barovia.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Clive, are you just following behind?
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
Clive's just there. Me and Boon are just there.
Okay. You guys walk in quiet. No one bothers you. It's rather early, it seems, and the streets are lonely, almost. you do eventually come upon the portal gate, looking much like it did before. It's been about 30 minutes since you left the Adventurers Guild. The gates are unguarded, the wrought iron gates still looking kind of rusty and lopsided, though the portal itself looks a little bit different. It's hard to grasp why necessarily. No one seems to pay you any mind as you approach the portal. You guys just saunter on through.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Stepping through, it's like stepping into another room. Simple as that. You approach the portal, take one step, and suddenly there is a brief light. And then you are within Barovia once more. You... Ooh, change this music.
The jaunty tavern tunes of Barovia.
Yeah. Let me just get that real quick. So, you guys are back in Barovia now with the sweeping, barren landscape, well, bare and open to you. Not much has changed since you were last here. In fact, it's impossible to tell if anything has changed. Other than the fact that the portal itself spits you out in the middle of an empty plain, rather than where it used to near the village of Stonecross that was once above ground.
Oh, fuck.
You are closer to the mountains than you were before, significantly so. It seems that since reporting this portal change, it is being changed, but slowly, almost. But yeah, you are spit out, and behind you is just this kind of gaping hole in the world that it's like looking through frosted glass on this side of things, looking back into Sigil. What do you guys do?
Well, Kess steps through, and then she waits to see if Clive is actually gonna fall.
Yeah. Clive doesn't look like he ever had any intention of stopping her.
Well, she looks at Clive, and she says, "Are you opposed to a forced march?"
No, I'll be fine.
Then
Figured
let's do
this is where you were going anyway. So I figured I'd come along to, give the others a bit of peace of mind.
Well, good. If we get into trouble, they can worry about you too.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Between the two of us, I think I'm more worried about that group.
They have Maria. They will be fine.
Yeah, you're right.
Confidence misplaced.
Wow.
Also, yeah, you guys can chime in, whatever. It's not like super serious. Be
Also-
quiet.
My puppy is making groaning noises at me laughing.
Yes,
I'm
she
too
hates
loud.
it.
Too loud. I'm interrupting her nap.
Oh.
All right. In that case, yeah, no, she's gonna force march.
Okay. So it's hard to tell the passage of time here as it was before. But you do move rather quickly, and the mountains come closer and closer. However, nighttime does begin to fall as the greasy sun transitions off into the dark of the moonless night. Do you keep going, or are you stopping?
Nah, she keeps going.
Okay.
She doesn't have babies to slow her down, and she figures Clive can keep up too, so.
Alright. I need you both to make perception checks.
Okay.
Clive
Wow.
with disadvantage.
Okay.
Babies.
I mean,
We're not even here to defend ourselves.
I think that's the point.
I'm glad Clive has eyes.
Oh, he's at disadvantage, though. Where's the second? Hello?
Wait. Oh, right.
Oh. Okay, cool. So yeah, you spend a bit of time walking and continuing on into the night. between Clive and Boon, there are clear signs of things still roaming the countryside. Kess, you nearly barrel straight into them, focused on your goal, and despite your night vision, is still difficult to discern anything other than shapes. But Boon is there to help, and you guys do manage to avoid several roaming creatures, and in many cases, it's as simple as stepping around them. Nothing seems interested in your presence. In fact, most of the things you've come across, be they what seem to be maybe ghouls and things that you catch better sight of as you draw closer, seem sluggish. Not even bothering to look up at you as you get close.
Huh.
Are you
I mean,
going?
if like I am sorry to say this, but like if they seem like easy prey, I mean, Cass is just gonna put them out of their misery. It's like undead.
Clive's not gonna say no to killing undead.
Okay. Yeah. I need you guys to make an attack roll, one each. Music for this. I don't.
Well, there's my attack.
Okay. Well, as you're going, you put whatever is on your way out of its misery. Nothing seems to fight back until maybe the hammer is on their head or pin-cushioned with crossbow bolts. They don't take any notice of you or the damage they're taking until they're pretty much not able to move anymore. Something has changed here, and there are many conclusions you can draw. As you're walking, though, are you going to continue walking until sunrise?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay. Tick off a point of exhaustion, please. Which means all checks have disadvantage, I believe.
Is there a thing for exhaustion on the character sheet?
So, check.
You gotta find it.
Maybe not. Yeah, if you click on conditions, it's all the way at the bottom. So that's actually really cool.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you just have disadvantage on ability checks for now. You guys are tired, but continuing on does bring you to the base of the mountains. You are at least a day closer than you were before with the portal. You guys just gonna ascend the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clive's going to keep up with Kess.
All right, cool. Now I have music for this, thank God.
Can't show weakness. Gotta prove that he's an equal.
Okay.
Tough boy.
So, you spend the next few hours climbing the mountain, the almost familiar path at this point. It's much the same that you left it. Boulders are strewn across the pathway. There are still corpses of various creatures littered around the jagged path that you left as you ascended the mountain, escaping this rising army. You come upon the boulders that you pushed down the mountainside and caved in, and it takes you a bit of time to climb over those. But you do climb over between the two of you. You have to help each other occasionally. Even you, Kess, you need a bit of a hand.
She's in heavy armor.
Yeah. You're not the most dexterous of individuals.
Not at all.
There are times you're able to basically punch your way through, though.
Nice.
But yeah, you reach the crest of the mountainside where you are able to look out upon the quote-unquote promised land that you brought this group to before. Off in the distance, you see the rising smoke of a village. Even from this distance, you're able to make out several buildings. It's not a large village at this point, but you can see that there are what look like farms dotting the outside and a stopping to really give it a gander show that there are buildings under construction.
Jeez, how long have we been gone?
You have no
I mean,
idea.
It's a long. Who knows? Timey-wimey shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of time-wimey bullshit, do we all have that thing that like aligns us with the things, or was that something that just Sybil was carrying?
No, you guys all have it. They're like little coins that you all have until I assume you don't.
Okay.
Yeah. So, as you guys stop and watch across the dipping twilight and the farming village that is being crafted thanks to your efforts, what are you doing here?
Well, Cass is gonna trudge down into the village.
Okay. It's about a 3.5 hour trek down to the village itself. You are pretty dang tired at this point. Not really 2 points of exhaustion, but you're pretty sure you're not happy. As you approach the village, there are people milling about. It is a lively bunch. You hear the sound of people living a nice life. There are lights in several of the buildings, and you don't get a really accurate count of the buildings, as you probably aren't too concerned about it.
Are there guards on the outside of the village?
No.
Huh.
Or at least not where you approach. There's no like fencing set up or anything. It's really just like approaching a countryside village sort of thing. There are small fences set up around the farms, but those look like they might be more for keeping livestock in, which you did see a handful of cows and pigs, your typical livestock fare.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, even coming along at least.
Yeah.
Several of the people kind of stop and give you guys long side eyes as you walk past, but no one seems too bothered by your presence. What are you looking for?
Exactly how long have we been gone? I think I'm never gonna use this time stuff.
It's been a few months at least for them to have buildings. And do we recognize anyone?
Make perception checks.
Sure. One day I'm gonna have advantage.
Clive, are you trying to recognize anybody?
Oh, he went to Pupper.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that. So Cass, you and Clive, it's hard to say. You don't see anyone you recognize amongst the group, but it was about 100 people to begin with, and that's a lot of people. You do see a bunch of kids, more kids than you remember seeing. And not like baby kids.
Maybe they found more villages.
Yeah. Are you looking for anybody in particular, or like a place to stay, or?
Kaz is gonna look for a tavern-like structure where she may gather information.
Okay. You have to look pretty hard for one. It seems that regardless of how long this village has been around, a tavern is still something that's not at the top of anyone's priorities.
Yeah.
But you find a 2-story home. And by home, I mean decently sized, but still very clearly meant to be for a family rather than a large group of people. But the doors open and light spills out. And while you don't hear any music that would always signal a tavern, you hear the sound of people milling around, and you can hear the sound of mugs clattering against wooden bar tops. And looking
Yes.
in, you see about 4 people standing around a bar, with someone behind the bar with a few casks behind him, serving up drinks.
Good enough.
Okay.
Cass ducks under the doorway and steps.
Okay. Stepping in does earn a bit of attention. And the man nearest the door is a rather short fellow. And I know everyone's kind of short compared to you, but he's probably about 5'3". He's pretty short. With thick, long, curly black hair. He looks kind of ridiculous, actually. He turns to look at you and looks skeptical for a moment before. Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Robert.
I'm looking for John.
There are many Johns here. Is there any one John?
A leader in the village.
Robert turns to look at some of the other men, shrugs before looking back at you, and they're all kind of giving you a wary look for Robert. What do you want with John, big scary one?
I am one of the people who helped liberate this village.
At that, they laugh incredulously, disbelievingly, before Robert calms down and just gives you a shitty smirk. Of course you are. Well, I suppose it won't do any harm to tell you where John lives. You don't look too crazy. He's down the block a little bit. Smallest house you can find, yes?
My thanks. She ducks her way out of the building and heads that way.
Alright, the guys watch you warily and you see them poke their heads out after you leave. And you can hear the clear sounds of muttering. Yeah. You wander a little bit before finding John's shack. It is full nighttime now. The light of the various houses is the only thing really lighting up the area, but it's enough. And again, John's house is actually more of a shack for who you think it might be John.
Huh.
It's not dilapidated, but it looks like it was constructed some time ago and not with the best materials. It looks like it might be about 1 room large with a rather simple rickety door. And there's a single light on.
She knocks on the door.
The door kind of trembles, and for about 10 seconds it just wobbles like it's barely held on there. Before you hear, hold on. And there's like a minute where you hear shuffling and grunting. Various dad noises, I get. And then John, as you would imagine he would look if you gave him about 15 years of age.
Okay.
God damn.
Wow, it's been 15 years.
Maybe. He is still very thick and intimidating looking.
Did you just call him thick?
I mean, yeah, he's a big dude. I swear to God, that word has been ruined.
Damn, John!
He's
Big ol' slab of John.
I mean, yeah, he's a big old slab of a man.
Break me off a piece of that, John!
Ooh, that's... But yeah, he's still this powerfully built man with close cropped hair, but it's completely gone silver. And there's a few heavy wrinkles that make him look kind of like a basset hound if it wasn't so droopy. Yeah. And he gives you a long look, his eyes squinting before.
Oh, for the love of a dog.
God bless.
Love her!
That's the best.
She wants your attention.
No, that's not.
Oh.
I took her outside and walked her around for 5 minutes. She peed. I brought her in, and now she's pooped on my floor.
Oh no!
She was just waiting. Yeah, he looks at you for about a minute before. Kess, is that you?
Yes.
So, it's been a while, apparently.
Oh. Yeah, it's been about... It's been too long.
Yeah, you don't want to know how long it's been for.
No, I don't. Y'all want to come in?
If you've the space.
Clive looks at Cass.
Yeah, I got space. Come on. And he turns, and you see that he walks with a visible limp as he heads into his humble home. Within it is, again, a shack. There is a table. Think of kind of Hagrid's shack from Harry Potter. It's small, cramped, and between the three of you, you take up a lot of the space. And he walks over to sit on the edge of his bed, making some groans as he does so, and you hear the sound of knees popping.
Jesus.
Well, y'all look good.
And you look like you've seen better days.
Oh, I've seen too many days is the problem.
Looks like y'all are managing to carve out a life here. I'm impressed.
Yeah, we had a few difficult years, but it got better. People starting to have kids. The oldest are 13 now. Yeah, things are going all right. Thanks to y'all. I mean, I didn't know how much y'all wanted to be talked about, so I told everyone to keep it kind of hush hush. But word gets out, you know. But yeah, we're doing all right. I heard a few folk went to go start another village too.
Good.
Yeah, it's all right. Anyway, how are y'all?
In much the same situation we were when we left here.
Yeah, it's not been as long on our end.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Guess I would never. Yeah, Clive, you don't look much older.
Probably looks exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean it's been less than a week for you guys.
Probably doesn't even have different clothes on. Like,
Oh my god.
Actually, it's been about a week for you guys.
Jesus.
Anyway, I'm assuming you guys didn't come for a luxury visit, or else the rest of y'all would have been here.
We need at least one of the orbs we left behind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've not been using those for some news about them, so we put them away. I can get you one.
If you would prefer, I will take both off your hands.
Yeah, that might be best. Some of the kids got into one 3-4 years back and came back yapping and going on about things that I don't even remember. It wasn't good. We had to well, we got a cleric around these parts now. And yeah, she's taking care of them now. But yeah, I can go get him for you. Here, you want to come with me? And he gets up with another loud grunt and more noises. Pops his back and come on.
After you. And
nudges
Jess
his
follows.
way out. Okay. he leads you guys through the village. Make a religion check for me.
Sure.
As you go, you pass by something in the center of the village. You only sort of recognize it, but you recognize the feeling about it. And it feels like a certain tiefling.
Oh shit!
And it probably makes you squirm a little bit, getting the sense that, oh, shit, they worry.
And then when he says cleric, she's like, oh no.
Navori would somewhere be proud. She doesn't know why, but she's pleased with this.
Yeah, off in Sigil, Navori gets this nice little warm feeling in her gut.
You did it.
Yeah, it feels like she just drank some nice hot cocoa.
Or some whiskey, depending.
Yeah, depending on the day. But yeah, he leads you past that without even so much as giving it a second look. And eventually he leads you to a small building that looks sort of like it's an outhouse. Then he reaches into a pocket and fiddles around for a minute. Shit, where'd it go? Ah, yeah. Pulls out a thick iron key. Very intricate looking, like it was wrought with a purpose. It's to keep people out to a significant degree, so it's not like an old-timey key. It is more like a modern key in its complexity. And he walks up to the door and brushes his hand against it like he's looking for something, and then, pulls away a little latch, and you see a hole that he puts the key in and jimmies it for a second before twisting, and pushes the door open and looks back at you guys. Yeah, we wanted to keep these real secure, along with some of the other stuff that we got laying around. And he looks in, and it's pretty dark in there. Either y'all got a light, by the way?
Cast light.
Okay. He shields his eyes briefly for, forgot y'all could do that. Cleric says she can, but she ain't ever do it. Yeah, she likes to. Anyway, yeah, throw it in there. And within the little shed, you see it's not really a shed, it's a very finely made wooden box that's very large. Along the inside, it is lined with some kind of metal. And within are 3 objects. You see a long, thin thing propped up against the wall with a curved, sharp head.
Is that the spear?
It is. It is Lightbright.
Huh.
And then just a normal metal box. And then what looks like a wooden pedestal. He looks at these and, yeah, we don't like messing with these. Strange things happen.
Even with Lightbringer.
Yeah, that thing talks to people.
It talks to people.
Yeah, it talks to people and usually isn't too keen on the things it says. It's a very particular spear.
Oh, so it's sore about Minnow leaving it.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-oh.
Cass looks at it, and then she looks at John.
John looks at Cass. What?
Do you mind if I take it off your hands?
Please do. It's like a jilted lover, I swear.
Oh my god.
Cass looks at the spear and she's like, I'm going to take you back to Minnow.
There's a solid there's a poignant silence.
And then she picks up like the spear in one hand.
When you pick it up,
Man.
you hear a loud.
Oh my god! Kes like holds it for like a solid like 2 seconds, and then she hands it to Clive.
Clive takes it.
Clive, you hear a.
Gives this spear a look like, what the fuck? No wonder Minnow left it here.
Oh my god!
Is that her name?
Oh no!
Oh shit.
She never bothered to tell me.
Well, that's mighty polite.
Minolowin is her full name.
I like that name.
Oh my god. Not creepy at all.
Yeah.
Are you taking me back to her then?
Yes.
Cass, you don't hear this, by the way, Cass.
Oh, okay.
Clive side eyes. Cass is like, sure, but I can't promise she's gonna keep you.
She was the last one that was worthy of wielding me.
Well, I mean, the multiverse is a big place. I'm sure there's someone else out there.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
I'm sure there's plenty of righteous souls out there that are worthy of your radiance.
Can you give me to the other one?
Clive just shrugs at it and hands it back to Kevin.
Kes reluctantly takes it.
I imagine
Did
John
Kes just
there.
watch Clive talk to nothing and then hand?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but I mean, she gets it. She's heard his voice.
She heard it sigh and she was like, "Oh no, I don't want to carry this."
He was like, nope.
I just want to point out, my puppy is now sulking because I'm not paying attention to her and is chewing on her blanket.
No.
Cass, there is nothing but silence from the spear now.
Okay.
Sulking.
Kes hangs on to it.
John just looks at you. I don't want to know.
You don't.
Yeah. Anyway,
Are both the orbs here?
I ate like half a bean just now and I choked on it. That was classy.
Oh no.
I was like, let me eat this real quick. He nods at you and picks up the box and pops it open, and you see the 2 orbs sitting within it, kind of inside some kind of cloth. It looks raggedy and like they just put it in there because you're supposed to put things on cloth inside of a box.
That's the law.
He reaches in and picks one of the orbs up and you just want to take it, or
If you would prefer, I'll take both with the box.
yeah, with the box. Here you go. And he just hands the box over to you.
Kes takes it and is now. She has both hands occupied, so she's gonna hand the box to Clive.
Clive, he takes it.
This is like the wolf and sheep problem.
Yeah.
She does look at like the last box and she's like, "Is there something else that you can't deal with?"
That it laughs sometimes.
I bet
We don't
I know
like
what
it.
that is.
Kes raises an eyebrow and like looks at him and is like, "Show me."
It just does it. I don't really It just happens sometime. If you want to sit here and wait, by all means.
No, it's
That thing's an altar, right?
It looks like one, yeah.
I know what that is.
Wait, is that the thing that Knave blessed?
No, Nave made a weird circular thing out of sticks. But
Oh right.
if God's presence is there, then you know.
Well,
Yeah, it's not dangerous. We just don't like it.
fair. Then we will take these off your hands.
Much obliged. Y'all gonna stay the night, or I don't know what your plan here is, but
I think
mean,
so.
Yeah, I think I might drop dead if I try to make that journey back again without rest.
yeah, let's
No offense, Cass, I've only got so much in.
we got a spare home here that we're still building up, so we got one that doesn't got anyone in it right now. If y'all wanna shack up in it for the night.
My thanks. We will do that.
Yeah, it's good seeing you guys again. Didn't think I would. And yeah, thanks again. This is I mean, most of these people didn't ever think this would be a thing, and there was, a year or two of shit. But people got over it. It was nice.
It does look like you've made quite a good life here.
Let's hope it stays that way, right?
I mean, I'm expecting the normal bullshit once all the thrill of it works out. Really, after the kids grow a bit, ones that didn't ever know what it was like, and
You'll still have that spot on your map marked where the portal sigil is, right? Pretty sure.
It's moved now, actually,
Oh.
closer. We popped out much closer.
Basically, if anything goes wrong, that's a good place to go.
Yeah, all right, yeah. We've not sent anyone back across the mountains, but yeah,
Given a few more generations, you may have people.
yeah, I'm expecting that. In all honesty, what with
If it makes you feel any better, the undead that we passed, they were dying. Slow.
Oh, good. Thank whatever it is that is looking over this village, then. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna try and go home, because I'm an old man that's tired these days. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I'll see y'all around again, but we'll see y'all around again, yeah?
We'll come to say goodbye in the morning.
Alright, yeah. And he turns and kind of hobbles off.
I see the point of this plan of yours, but I really hope it doesn't backfire somehow.
Well, we'll just have to see.
Oh, no!
Squeaky dog!
Oh,
I love her dramatic timing.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I don't pay enough attention to her.
She gives you the new Boon.
Yeah. Sometimes Boon is squeaky, sometimes Boon is barky.
I'm like holding a plushie in one hand and kind of just waving it around so she can play with it, and I stop for a second.
Oh, heavens.
How dare!
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, there is an empty house in the village for you. John pointed it out before he hobbled off entirely. He stood out and turned, and then, that one down there. And then he went to go hobble back off.
Cass gonna slip.
Okay.
Yeah,
You guys slept.
Clive probably collapses as soon as they reach wherever it is they're sleeping.
Okay, yeah. There are basic cots set up. It looks like this is a house pretty much ready for people to move in, but there's, probably not anyone to move in here yet. You can remove your exhaustion ticks.
Yeah,
Yay.
hang on one second, she's chewing on my coat sleeve.
Good. She just wants it in her mouth. So, you guys wake up the next day. You were greeted by the bright sun practically shining in your eyes, coming in through what might have been a window at night when you weren't really giving it a good look. And now it's just kind of a hole. There's no glass in there right now.
Well, Cass is gonna get up and get ready for the journey home.
Okay. Yeah, you pack up all your stuff. And I'm assuming you guys begin to head out. You head over to John to say farewell.
Yep.
He just kind of nods amiably and, yeah, nice seeing y'all. And then you head on your way. It takes you again about 3 hours to go, or it takes about 4, because you're going uphill. And when you step over to the Barovian side of things, shit, where'd it go? 1 second.
Shit gets weird.
You know it. Suddenly, there we go. Shit does get weird.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
Welcome
You
back here.
are immediately,
Are we supposed to see something? Because I don't see anything.
yeah,
scene change.
yeah.
No, I just meant in Roll20.
Yeah.
Just the background changed.
I don't have a background.
Oh.
Try
Maybe.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost the music for this, so it's fine. Anyway, you step over to the side of Barovia, and immediately you feel that sensation like you're walking through a thin veneer in the air, and the sky around you darkens to an obscene degree. And
Cass is a
You're-
little alarmed because last time they had to be touching the orb, right?
and your eyes are instinctively drawn upwards, and there is that black, writhing moon.
Did I ever tell you that I always had a really, really bad feeling about that?
Yeah. I do as well.
I had more of a bad feeling than I had about the vampire, to be honest.
Considering last time we needed to be touching the orbs to trigger them. Yes. And she's gonna open the box and look at the orbs.
Okay. Looking at the orbs here, they seem to be glowing slightly. There are 2 circles within the orbs themselves. Before they were kind of tiger's eye-like, and now they are completely pitch black. But there are circles of pale yellow light on each one, with a slit down the center.
I might not be an expert on these things,
Hating
but
that.
I think these things might be evil.
Yeah.
Oh.
God.
They're watching.
Watching.
What? What is this not good enough for you anymore? She's just looking
That was
at.
Clive for
Yeah, me too.
Oh no! Sorry, talking to the dog.
Yelling at the orb. It's the oranges all over again.
What I thought.
She's now just looking at me while just judgmentally. Like, go sleep.
She wants to be held.
No, she
Okay.
doesn't actually. She doesn't like it when I put her in the chair with me. She starts to get like antsy.
Oh,
Oh.
She doesn't mind if I sit.
Cinderella.
I mean, I can hold her if I sit in the floor with her, but not in the chair.
She doesn't like being constricted
Mm.
or up high.
She's the wind.
So yeah, you guys are looking at these orbs that
That are looking back.
Good.
All right, can I like roll like a religion check? Or,
Yeah,
like
go for it. What are you trying to glean?
How like in what way have they changed? Are they more malevolent or more powered up, or
They certainly have more of a presence than the last time you saw them, and they certainly feel alive, more so than the lodestone did proper. And by alive, I just mean active. But they don't seem any more powerful. But also, you sense in the distance, down onto the plains, a divine presence.
a divine presence
Yes.
in the darkness?
Yes. In the way that you would be going to get back to.
Kess grunts to herself and looks off into the darkness purposefully.
I don't like that look.
Even like,
Clive doesn't need to see it under the helmet. He
Yeah.
can feel it. He's learned how to tell what emotions are on her face with what little of her face he can see.
Secures the orbs.
Clive he put they're back in the box. They're as secured as Clive can get them.
She like points to like his bag or something.
He puts her in the bag. But
Okay, all right. And have your crossbows ready. And
Oh,
she's
good.
gonna start walking down the hill.
go kill the god.
God.
Okay. As you head down through the darkness, there is. Well, it's like passing through fog. It keeps the surrounding area around you as you climb off of the mountain completely obscured. But there is a strange light within the fog as you move. It's like you are consistently able to see about 40 feet out from you, but no more. Nonetheless, there's that divine presence that you're able to hone in on pretty consistently. But the closer you get, the smaller it feels. Not really like, it feels like the size of a person, where before it felt like the size of what a god might be. And as you continue towards it, eventually you see a flickering light of a fire. A green flame, but a fire nonetheless, sitting in what looks like a little stone bowl. And next to it you see a thin old man. He's so skinny that he is completely skin and bones. He has long, straggly gray hair that looks greasy and a long white beard that looks curled and like it's not been taken care of in some time. And he doesn't look at you guys for a long moment before he starts bouncing a leg and... Are you here to sit by the fire with me?
Something bad gonna happen if we say no?
Oh... No, I don't see why anything bad would. This old man's a bit lonely, that's all.
Clive looks over at Cass and just shrugs.
Kess also shrugs. We would be remiss to refuse an invitation. And she's gonna take a seat.
Okay. He doesn't look at you guys, And he just kind of shakes a little bit as he holds out his hands to the fire like he's desperately trying to get warm. What are a pair... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What are a pair of travelers doing here in the in-between?
In the what? You cut out.
Oh. In the in-between.
Well, we just learned that that's what that's called. That's what we're doing.
Ah, accidentally brought here. Not the first, not the last.
And you?
Oh, I don't know. Something brought me here, but I don't remember much before that.
Exactly.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
Oh, time's not got much meaning in the in-between. It's a bit too nebulous between everything as it is.
So the in-between does not only appear on Barovia, then?
Oh, no. The in-between is between everything. It's the space between spaces. I take it you've never heard of it before, then?
No, but we have experienced it.
Ah. Then you've also experienced the problem that I'm experiencing here.
And that would be?
It's cold and large, and it should not be cold nor large.
Ah. Is there something wrong with this realm, then?
Oh. Everything, I suppose.
And
Sorry,
go ahead.
Oh, just... It should not be like this, and that is a bit of a problem.
I take it that Moon was not always like that?
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's new as far as I remember. I don't remember much, but I remember that much.
I guess it's gonna, hand over, a water skin for him.
He takes it and doesn't drink from it greedily, just kind of takes a good drink and then hands it back and... My name is Girpa.
Pleasure, I'm Clive.
Kess.
To meet you too. And by the way, Kess, this is where the divine presence seems to be coming from.
She's sitting here like,
Does Clive feel any presence from this person as a mere mortal?
Actually, yeah, this close, there is a feeling of being insignificant next to this individual.
Okay. Also, she's in my lap now and has hiccups.
Yeah. Have you seen the things that should not be?
There's quite a few things in here that fall under that description, I think.
Yes, it's just about everything here. Nothing should be here. This is not a real place, after all, or it's not supposed to be.
what are the tentacles that rise from the ground?
Oh, those are that what should not be.
When did this start? Is it like an infection?
Oh, I cannot say. It was like this when I came, and I remember nothing from before, so...
When did you come?
Oh, I don't know. It feels like it's been years. It could be days. The in-between does not have time.
Where were you trying to go?
Oh, well, What was I doing? I wasn't trying to go anywhere. I think something took me here.
Perhaps we can help you get out.
That would be nice. Cass, by the way, make a history check.
Sure.
Clive, you make one too, actually.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dog is currently gnawing on one of my fingers. With her sharp little puppy needle teeth. What is my history? I don't even remember.
That nice
Int.
one.
Well, I think it's better than it used to be.
Hey.
Good old rogue skill point.
Okay. Clive, you're sitting there thinking a little bit, and it hits you that you recognize the name Girpa. And it's the name of a deity of fire, specifically from your home plane of Eos.
Uh-huh. Clive just has this look on his face like he's trying really hard to remember this name. It's like, sorry if this is a touch personal. Are you named after a god from my plane, or are you the god from my plane?
I do not know. All I know is my name is Girpa, and I simply... When I came to, I knew that was my name here. But I make this flame. It's not as hot as I'd like, but it's all I have.
Well, that adds up.
That adds up.
The fire thing, considering Gerpa was a god of fire back on my plane.
Huh. Well, if I'm a god, I'm not exactly a happy one right now.
Well, if you are a god, probably isn't in either of our interests to keep you locked up in a place like this. You know, you being a god and all. Probably have important duties elsewhere.
Cass is getting a look on her face.
No, please make friends with this adorable old man.
not like a look that she's not going to make friends with this adorable old man, but like
A look like she might be
realization.
coming to a realization.
yeah.
How did you two get here?
Sybil's been telling you.
Well, we have a couple of rocks that bring us here.
A couple of
Somehow.
rocks.
I think they might be evil. Just a hunch, though. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Clive is that D&D character no group ever has.
He's just a hillbilly.
Yeah.
Clive's power is he's just a guy.
Yeah.
He's just a guy in a thing that is way over his fucking head.
He kills his vampire, like that's it.
Yes, rocks are quite the travelers.
Cass gestures for Clive to get out the rock.
Clive gets out the rocks.
He slowly turns to look, and this is the first time he's really looked at anything. And you see he has a pretty sunken gaze that just looks far off and tired.
My visual image for this guy is Gwen from Dark Souls right now.
Yeah, kinda actually. That's pretty accurate.
Like hollow Gwen at the end of the game.
Yeah, he looks bad.
Oh.
Yes, those are certainly rots from here. This place that should not be. How curious.
Previously, we've had to touch them to trigger this effect.
We had a much bigger rock too, here.
Well, if they're working on their own, it might be my fault.
Oh.
Oh, yes, it's... Well, I've just got the feeling that I'm responsible for this place getting a bit bigger.
How How you imagine that?
I've just got this feeling like I'm in trouble.
I'm in danger.
Yeah. You did that way too well.
Trouble is in you did something bad and someone put you here to punish you, or trouble is in the trouble is you being here?
I think it's the latter.
Huh.
Well, then let us return you to your plane.
Yes, I would like to go home.
I'm assuming we know how to do that.
Not at all. But what have
Good.
we got to lose?
Good, because I don't either. Yeah, well, I could use a favor from a god. Why not?
Oh, well, let us go then. And he kind of pushes himself up a little bit and waves his hand over the fire, and the green flame extinguishes.
If this works, none of the other group's gonna believe us. Well, they might.
We'll have to embellish a bit to make it more believable.
Mario will absolutely believe you.
Yeah, Navari would too. I mean,
We
come
met,
on.
we met a fire god
Yeah.
in between.
Navari's like, yeah, I know that feeling.
So
Yep.
wait, what were you guys up to? Oh, went to Barovia, found a stray fire god, and returned him to his queen.
Sick. Nice weekend.
Wow, that's awesome!
Yeah, love that.
I'm just
I guess she's gonna touch one of the orbs. 'Cause fuck it.
Okay. Touching it, you see he raises his hand when you touch it, and he kind of starts to reach for it before. May I?
Ah, yes. Yes. Guess hands it over.
He takes it and looks at it, and the lights inside swivel around until they look at him. And he looks at them, and
It's watching.
Hate.
oh, you are. I see you.
Cass looks at
Clive is
Clive.
a couple of degrees more uncomfortable than he was now.
Then he closes the box and hands it over to you, and I suggest you keep that shut.
Yeah, I'd planned on it.
Good.
Can you tell us more?
Oh, let us just say that something is trying to pull at the seams, and I think it is looking for me,
Oh,
and maybe the others that are stuck here.
what exactly are the seams?
If this place connects everywhere, bringing down the seams between them.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Precisely, yes, it's, you know when you stitch clothing together, how it's like a front and a back, and then you stitch the parts together, the parts that get stitched together are where planes overlap, and when they overlap, we can pass through. And the in-between is those minuscule little gaps between the threads. And they should not be habitable. Too small for anyone to travel in. But here we are.
Oh dear. Well, the portal on Barovia itself is that way, and she points in the direction they were originally walking.
Well, we will go then. Come, companions mine, let us go.
We'll go start walking.
Okay.
Yeah. What has Boon been like this entire
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable doggo.
fair? So the rest of it.
Yeah. So yeah, worry dog eyebrows, exactly.
He's just a dog.
Yeah. And you guys walk, and he mutters under his breath the whole time, but it's too low for you to make out.
I love Grandpa Hobo God.
And it seems like it's not nearly been long enough before you come to the shimmering gap in reality, where even wherever you are right now, you can see sigil, but it's no longer through like frosted glass. It is very clear. It's like it is just in another room.
Huh.
And he looks at it and, huh, interesting that.
I mean, you've been here a while. You ever came across this before?
I believe it's called sigil, and I'm not allowed to be there.
Oh, well, maybe if we ask nicely, they can make an exception.
Oh, I think it's more of I physically cannot be there. But worry not, I think I can. And he reaches out and hooks his fingers into the air and just kind of slowly tugs away at reality, and it's very uncomfortable to look at. And actually, I need you guys to roll wisdom saving throws.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Well, you get +4.
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome to Maria's shoes.
I would love to be able to roll over a 10.
Clive, you take 6 points of psychic damage
Ow.
as reality itself is torn apart in front of you.
Clive's just like looking at it, and just a trickle of blood just comes down his nose.
God.
Yeah, and you do not know what you're looking at, actually, because you can't comprehend this. And Girpa turns to look at you guys. It's not fully open. It's like it's been dog marked or dog-eared. And you've my thanks for bringing me to the lap.
This isn't a decision we're gonna regret later, is it? Just, asking for honesty's sake.
Oh, no, as you said, you've got the favor of a god on your side now if you are ever within Eos.
Well,
Girpa owes you one.
pleasure meeting you then. Have a good one.
Before you go,
Yes.
have you met other gods here?
No, I'd not met anyone other than you. But I think things are stuck here too.
Thank you.
Yes. And he slowly, like he's ripping off a band-aid, rips open reality, and Kess, you're just like, oh, and Clive, you have to look away.
Yeah, Clive's
Clive hates it.
Clive's not looking at it. Clive puts like a hand over Boon's eyes. Like, don't look at this. You're just a dog.
Just a dog.
And Kess, you see Girpa stand a bit taller, and there's a glint of like sheen off of his skin, and something kind of starts forming around his shoulders, and you see it looks like armored clothing of some sort. And then he steps through, and the hole he left behind him twists shut and is gone.
Well, that happened.
He did.
I,
Let's go back to Sigil.
I have a few more worries about handing those over to the Thieves Guild.
As do I. But
Wait,
let's ensure that the lodestone itself does not fall into their hands.
Yeah. Book it to the nerd school place, I guess.
Indeed.
Clive goes into Sigil.
Okay.
Yeah, she follows.
Through the portal.
All right, so we're done with you guys for now. Oh, where's my? There it is.
Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
Meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
At the Hall of Justice.
yeah. Oh my god, I forgot that. Actually, I know. Actually, you know what, Minnow, we're going to you.
Wah
It's
wah.
Minnow time.
Yep. So, Minnow, you just watched Clive and Kess head off after the conversation took place, trying to figure out who's doing what. Sybil, Maria, and Nave kind of hustled out together, leaving you in the Adventurers Guild. That is slowly being populated with more and more people as the day begins starting. You see people that are coming down the stairs, yawning, stretching out. People that look like adventurers but not wearing armor right now. Your aunt is behind the desk now, filing away papers, grabbing things, putting them up. And you see Sybil's mother kind of standing at the other end of the desk, doing the same thing, but looking angry while doing it. While Ardania occasionally gives her, like, vindictive glares. And you're just sitting there by yourself for now. What are you gonna do?
Well, when the moment seems right, she'll get up to go, approach the desk where Ardania is.
Okay. Yeah, you wait about 10 minutes before Ardania kind of does that thing where she taps a stack of papers together on the desk to neaten them before looking up at you and, oh, Minnow dear, hello.
Hello, Auntie.
Did you leave your friends behind then?
Yes and no. That stings a little bit for her. But, how are things with, Miss Harker?
Oh, she's, She sighs and is quiet for a moment. And you recognize just a look of begrudging respect.
Hmm.
Well, let's just say that... I'm trying to find her voice again. Wow, this sucks. Let's just say that, she's a hard worker, yes?
Oh, good. Good.
I heard from home, by the way.
She was, like, entirely too excited about that. So, how are things?
Well, I've heard from, my sister that Lefen's doing quite better, actually.
Is that right?
Yes, showed signs of improving, though the battles aren't going very well, apparently.
Oh my gosh, she looks so torn, like, happy, but now, like, concerned. Battle still going on. Like, trying to find words.
Apparently those cultists have summoned something, though they've enlisted a few adventurers to help out for now.
Good. Boy, does she look ready to go do that. She reels back and, hopefully my time to join them will be sooner than later. But that, reminds me, we went to Barovia a while back. You remember that?
Sorry.
You remember this?
I do, yes.
Well, quite a lot went on there, and she's gonna take a little look around the Adventurers Guild to make sure it's mostly quiet, or if there's anybody around.
No one's around, and by and large, people seem very engaged with their own things.
Okay. Oh dear, Tony, that is a dreadful, nightmarish plane. We took care of some things there, and there are people in need of supplies, if that's possible.
Yes. It's more than possible. I believe your friends vaguely mentioned it.
Yeah, yes. Well, it's my main purpose while they're out. Well, they have their purpose, and well, the people are fine now. They're starting to make lives for themselves, and they're somewhere safer. I am not sure what that would mean for portals, but she is, like, for lack of a better word, and excuse my pun, floundering.
Oh, that's the first time you said excuse the pun.
But she's yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Ardania just smiles and, oh dear Minnow, that's quite nice of you. I'll make sure that, well, I'll speak to the one that reports to the master, and we'll have something set up for them, I'm sure.
Oh, good. I wouldn't mind helping with an escort, but well, truthfully, hearing about home, well, it's been a long time.
That it has. Did you ever find why you were sent here?
No.
Oh. Well. How are you liking Boon's bounty? They seem to enjoy your presence.
Here it is.
Sure are. Minnow does not look convinced, but is being polite with a smile anyway. I am enjoying their company. They've been very capable.
Ardania stops.
Don't lie.
And then gives you a very knowing smile. And do you know why I asked you to go with them?
Because you need to get out more.
Because I had troubles in the past.
I mean, that's true, but not entirely the main reason. The main reason is I think they need a bit of a moral compass. And you have always been very stalwart in your belief to do the right thing, and, well, I'm hoping that you might rub off on them. I like them, but they're a bit rough around the edges. Or
Aren't they?
around everything. They're just rough.
A bit.
They're just rough.
Well,
Hey, but they gave her Broomba.
yeah. Minnow still doesn't know that. Oh, well, I hope so. About that, it was a bit of a, well, I didn't want to follow that sort of rough and tumble crowd today.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Damn it, Max! Why did
Sorry.
you bring up the home? I don't care about anything else right now. But well, They sure do like to go about things in their own way, I've learned.
Yes, they are the type. So that's the other reason I sent you with them. I think you could use a bit of, experience, dear.
Experience?
Well, that perhaps things aren't quite as heroic, or that you sometimes need not follow the letter of the law. I know how you are. You're a bit of a worrier, dear.
Well, for good reason, is... It's quite different here in Sigil. I'm learning much every day. You're teaching me a lesson with that?
I'm not here to teach you a lesson. I merely want to see you loosen up a bit. Or perhaps just recognize that the right thing isn't always the lawful thing, and sometimes the law sucks. And
You know,
hopefully...
having an existential crisis.
I love that. She looks like she's like...
Hopefully, dear...
I'm related to this person.
Yep.
No.
Hopefully, dear... you will not freeze when it comes time. That the right thing is not the lawful thing, and that the lawful thing is the wrong thing. I think the big scary one could teach you a thing or two about that.
Lawful neutral.
Damn. I thought I was prepared for this, and I'm not prepared.
Oh, yeah!
I had things written down for prepared. Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. She looks about the Adventurers Guild again, and this is like a face, like, suddenly that, like, pampered noble is not getting her way, sort of like internalizing a fit. Question. But
Wow, how dare you?
yeah, it's like, well, I have learned plenty from Lady Cass already, and do you speak this way because there is, or how could you believe that?
Dear, there's a reason I don't live at home.
Well, there it is.
Shit.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, whoops. I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you, though, or are you simply being courteous?
I do mean it, your family.
And what does that mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Auntie Ardania is savage tonight.
Yeah. Whew.
This girl to learn.
I love you, and family's family, and
Dear.
no.
And she reaches over the desk and kind of turns you around to face the Adventure Guild. It's really awkward. You know those times like when the
Yeah.
teacher forces you to turn and look at the class?
Oh.
It's like that. Dear, these people are more like a family than your father and mother ever were to me. Do you know why?
Her shoulders, like, sank under Artania's hands, and she just shakes her head.
Because they know what it is to do the right thing.
Ooh.
But Mother and Father have always worked towards doing what's best.
For them. For you, even. But what is right is often selfless. And what is wrong is often selfish, but not always. I'm sure that your father and mother thought they were doing good. But trust me when I say, there's a reason you are in Citadel now, dear.
Minna, like, immediately, like, tears out of Artania's grip to, like, turn around and face her.
Artani just looks.
Yes, and that was to see if something off plane can have Lieutenant. She looks like she's, like, not going, like, she wants to believe that, but now, like, this bug is in her head, and, like...
Dear. My dear Minnow. You were sent here so you could help. Because your brothers knew that they could not do what was needed. But you can, and that is why they sent you here, to learn what the right thing would be, not what you think is right, but what is right.
She looks like she's gonna retort. Like, the shake of her head is like all she manages right now. She's thinking real hard, remembering back to what her brother said to her. That's... I want to say that's absurd, but I'm gonna go for a walk. And she turns around.
Oh.
Poor Minnow!
And she's just gonna go for a walk. I don't know where, but she's just gonna go walk.
She's just walking.
Okay,
Yeah, she's walking.
so we're gonna
Walk it
shift.
off.
We're gonna shift over to the troublesome trio.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Here we go.
Okay.
I
Alright.
want to note before anything, Sybil has not changed out of her robe. She is in a white robe and thigh
Yeah. I imagine they probably would have gone up to their rooms first because they wanted to change their appearances, so
I mean, not Maria. She's just standing by the
Oh.
door.
That's Sybil does something cooler. Like, duh.
Wait, is she still a kid?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Oh God.
What happens is you get a cool sick sequence of Sybil walking through the crowd and just becoming different people. So she's Kid Sybil in an oversized robe, but then she's like a goblin, but then she's like a half-orc, but then she's like a fucking Triton, and then she's still a lad.
okay, well, before
Wow.
that, Devoria's gonna go up to Maria and be like, hey, you want a disguise too?
Probably. Do you think I would stand out? She says with white hair and opal skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, come in.
I mean, it's Sigil.
Yeah.
Okay, but if they got people looking for them.
She's a little descriptive, yeah.
Yeah, Navori's gonna take her aside. She might have actually taken her up to her room.
Okay.
And, I don't know if Sybil would want to go, or Sybil's just going and doing her cool montage and realizing
Yeah,
someone else
Sybil's
is
busy
there,
doing a montage, sorry.
God bless.
and then realizes no one's watching.
Oh.
Oh no!
She's gotta... No one's supposed to watch, it's a stealth mission.
But her friends aren't even
Yeah. Damn cold.
Anyway, yeah, Navori brings Maria up to a room,
Mhm.
and she pulls out a disguise kit that she has.
Okay.
And she's just like, okay, so, do you want to look real pretty, or do you want to look like some badass guy? Because I can do both.
Which one would be more unexpected?
Two genders, pretty and badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you, really.
Flip a coin. That seems
Ooh,
appropriate.
okay.
Roll for it.
Yeah.
Navori's like, okay, the side with this weird thing on it is pretty, and the side with this weird building is badass.
Alright. Thing versus building.
Roll for it, 1d4 evens and odds.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. So, badass!
Alright then.
Hey, nice. Okay, so let's see what we got here. And Navori starts taking things out of her disguise kit, and well, there's a lot of shit in there. There's some shit that looks like it's been used more, and there's some things that look like they've been maybe used once, but they're pretty,
Yeah.
like she tried it and realized this isn't gonna fucking work. Just never tried it again.
You're at the Sephora account.
I was just gonna say, like, her arsenal is here.
Yeah, so she pulls out, like, this fake, like, the sort of like a mustache and a short beard kind of thing. Sort of like what Clive has. But obviously, like, would not work for Navori's fucking baby face.
Yeah.
So... But she has it anyway,
And Maria's already, like, literally carved out of stone, so it's fine.
Yeah. She looks at a few, like, she's got... First she looks at, there's a dark one because she's got dark hair, but then she finds a lighter one because Maria's got fucking white hair. It's like, alright, we got this!
Fuck. And her eyebrows throw off the whole game because her eyebrows are dark.
Well, it's fine.
It's fine. It doesn't
fine.
matter.
Navori's gonna get to her eyebrows, don't worry about it.
Oh god, yeah. Like, Mario sits here passively. She is literally a stone being turned into something else. She's becoming the sculpture. She's just still the whole time.
Okay, so Navori puts on this mustache beard thing that kind of obscures her mouth and sort of, changes the, I guess, dynamic of her face and then she pulls her hair back into, like, so you can see the eye patch easier and puts it,
yeah.
in one of those, long hair guy ponytails.
Oh
you know the kind.
Yes. Oh, this is
And,
perfect.
And, like, she does, like, she makes her eyebrows, like, darker and more kind of bushy and grizzled.
Oh man.
At least her one, the one you can see.
Does prestidigitation, can you change your hair color with that?
Yeah, I don't.
Cool.
Hey, sick.
Okay, so she's gonna turn her hair black to match her eyebrows.
Oh, well, it's like, oh, well, Navari gets out the black beard instead. Switches that up.
Oh yeah, you can't change. Yeah, why not? You can create an illusion that fits in your hand. Hair can fit your hand.
It's just one patch. It's just one black patch.
What? No, like a black.
Have you never held a fistful of extensions before?
She's got so much hair though. She has so much.
Instead of the black hair with the white streak, it's the white hair with
Yeah.
the black streak.
Yeah. That's what
Alright,
she did.
Come on.
Right.
And yeah, like she sort of changes the way her clothes fit a bit, like maybe gives her like a fake scar somewhere. She probably already has whatever.
It's under the eye patch, so yeah.
She draws it out a little
There you
bit.
go. Yeah. All the way down to her
It's like-
chin. Yeah.
He's like, hey, alright. You're looking good now. You look like a fucking badass.
God.
Okay.
Now, at least if they're looking for you, they won't, find you so simply.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel.
And Navari,
I feel squatter.
you are. and Navari's gonna disguise self.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mario, go
So-
back downstairs.
And then we go to Sybil's fucking person-changing montage until she's a lad.
She's a lad. Well, I mean, she might be a lad. She might also be a young woman. It's hard to tell, but they've got, like, bushy black hair and magisterial robes. And they're a human. And they're
Okay.
chilling.
Okay.
Yeah, Navari looks like a nerd.
All right. So, are you guys just rolling on out?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, Maria, it looks kind of like you're escorting two,
Yeah.
like, younger... You look like mom taking the kids to summer school.
Or dad.
Or dad.
Dad.
Yeah.
You look like you're taking the kids to summer school.
All right. Making sure they
Um,
don't skip.
Yeah. So it takes you quite some time. It's about an hour and a half from the Adventurers Guild to the school. But you get there sooner rather than later. And you guys just waltz on right through the large gates that open up into the portal that takes you to the realm that the school is within. And without hesitation, you walk right up the pathway until you are inside of the school. It is a brisk journey full of purpose. And you guys enter the school, and once more you are within those hallowed halls eunuch Joseph haunts to this day.
Good old eunuch Joseph.
Yeah. Love
And
that guy.
there are some kids roaming around now. And by kids, I mean actual kids. They seem fairly young, younger than you guys by a significant margin. They're wearing very large robes that seem to practically swallow them to the point where they look like they are. You guys ever know Orko from He-Man,
Oh God.
or like a Final Fantasy Black Mage?
Yeah, little VVs.
Yeah, they look kind of like that, where you can barely see their faces beneath the very large hats. Sybil, you know that this is the chemistry class, and that's protective gear.
I didn't hear anything because my mic cut out, but yeah, I definitely do. Yes.
You recognize these as the chemistry class.
Okay.
Yeah, you just recognize this is like a bunch of walking around there wearing very heavy protective gear that only really leaves their eyes and hands. And they all go rushing past you guys. And further down, you see that there are people waiting at the lightning lift, slowly being sent up. You are not the only ones heading to the upper floors today. And you guys just head on over, I'm assuming, and wait in
Yeah.
line.
Queue up.
Okay.
Saddle up. Sorry.
Maria, that earns you a look from the kid in front of you. He turns and looks at you like,
Dad, stop.
I love it.
And about 5 minutes later, it's your turn in the lightning lift queue. And you guys shuffle forward, and do you just slam the buttons to send you up?
Yeah.
Of course we fucking slam the buttons.
The
All
right
right.
buttons.
Once more, an uncomfortable ride rockets you upwards. Mario, your disguise comes loose in a few places due to the sheer speed.
Yes.
You reach
Beard
up
is
and it, like,
melting.
yeah, you smudge it back on a little bit.
Is there
And-
anyone else in the elevator with us?
No.
Oh god.
Sybil's like, you have to hold on to your beard.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
coming off. We need
Oh.
that.
Okay. She's got her hand on her jaw.
And you guys head back up, and then suddenly the thing comes to a hard halt, and then just stays at the floor that is the researcher's hall.
Navori, like, quickly fixes Mario up and then gives her 2 thumbs up.
Sybil goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes to find her sister.
Then
Okay.
Navori's running after Sybil.
Yep.
Thanks to the fact that it was only yesterday, you're able to find Professor Grundle's office, or the office that Professor Grundle is currently squatting in, fairly easily.
Don't say squatting in Gruntle.
As you're standing outside the door, suddenly you see a loud flash of light.
Ooh.
Don't like that.
First, I'm gonna knock on the door.
You hear, "Come in!"
Coming in.
Smoke billows past you into the hallway, just thick and dark.
She'll like fan her arm through it and get into the room.
Can I just prestidigitation the smoke away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the smoke gathers up into like a neat, thick smoke ball, and then you just push it out into the hallway and then close the door behind you really quick.
Yep.
Someone else's problem.
Someone else's problem. Yep.
Love it.
You see Phoebe standing next to a desk that has a few vials out on it. Her face is covered in like ashy smoke. And as she turns to look at you, her face is just kind of twisting and melting in places. It looks like it's made out of like smoky wax. If that makes any sense. Like it's waxy in the way it melts, but it's drifting like it's made out of smoke.
Well, Sybil goes, "Ha! Thieves! Your face is melting!"
Ha! Sis, you're tiny!
I don't even look like me. How do you know it's me?
Your
Does it call-
voice.
Well, no, she called me Phoebes, and she's the only one that calls me Phoebes. Oh, good.
Oh.
Of course it's now.
Yeah, it's now, not any other time.
Yeah.
Golly.
She goes, "'Cause she called me Phoebes, and she's the only one that calls me Phoebes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Why are you... You got an explanation? You know, never mind. What's up, guys?
So, wait, okay, so nothing weird's happened here, yeah?
I mean...
Well, I mean... to the things that we may or may not have left here.
No, that's fine, that's fine. The lodestone's fine.
Okay,
Hold on.
another thing.
Yeah, what?
Is this room, like, protected against weird
Yes, yes, of course.
divination?
Yes!
Nice. Sick.
Lined
Okay.
with lead, it's fine.
Good, good.
And you see Professor Grundle kind of toddling around the office, picking up various vials and reagents. He picks up like a bat wing, a dash of like some kind of silvery powder, and throws it all into a small cauldron and muttering something all the while. And Phoebe looks at him and he's looking for something that'll, I guess, help us with the, face. Anyway, yeah, why are you guys, what?
Okay.
I've got a lot of questions.
Yeah, so, we found out that, the Thieves Guild, right? Those fucking assholes.
I've heard rumors.
Okay, well, they sort of kidnapped one of us, and then were demanding that we give them that. She sort of points at the orb.
Yeah, they want the orb.
And we were
Right.
like, no, fuck you, and, we sort of-
You told the Thieves Guild, fuck you.
Well, I told them that I was gonna kill them.
Yeah, a couple of times actually.
Where
Yeah,
did this
like 5.
bloodlust come from? You know, I don't care. I don't care.
Daddy issues, probably.
I have them too.
Yeah, well, they manifest in different ways.
Clearly.
Anyway, we know
yeah.
that thing is fucking dangerous
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
powerful, and they shouldn't fucking have it, so we told them no. And,
okay.
I want to note, by the way, that Sybil's face is sympathy melting.
Oh, golly.
Sip.
Yeah,
Stop that.
kind of like tries to gather up her face.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Her fake face.
There's a lot happening right now. Okay, so you told the thieves no.
yeah,
Great.
but,
So you told the mafia no.
yeah.
Yeah.
What,
Wonderful.
we're gonna tell him yes, and we're gonna give it to him? No.
Right. Okay. So,
Well, first of all, we're telling you that because you fucking have it. And
Yeah,
if
I
they
appreciate
want it, then,
They-
you know, they might come looking. That's why we're,
Yeah,
you know...
I mean, what were we gonna tell them? Like, oh, sorry, we just gotta go to the magisterial and pick it up. Like, no!
That's why we're, you know, like this. She just gestures at herself.
I mean,
that answers that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also sort of want to know if you figured out anything more that it does.
Yeah, well,
because-
Professor and I didn't quite figure out what it does, but we know we... Come here. And she gestures for you guys to come over to her, and her whole body is kind of drifting now with smoke. She's
You
like,
okay? That you're not hurt or anything, right?
No, it's just inconvenient.
You get used to it.
I...
oh, never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, so we discovered something interesting about this. And it's technically supposed to not exist.
Oh.
Why is this doing it now?
I don't know, switch the server.
You're the only one having... Okay.
There we go.
Well, let's see. Well, just keep talking.
Yeah, it's technically not supposed to exist.
That's weird.
How do you mean?
Well, okay.
As Maria like internally panics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So-
she's 50-50, internal panic, deep curiosity.
So, okay. She flicks her wrist and fingers kind of drift off and she slaps it. Anyway, she flicks her wrist again and a giant, like, magical cork board appears in front of her. She's like, right,
Oh
okay.
my god.
So, the plane escape is kind of like a collage. She makes like a motion like she's pinning things to the cork board, and there are a bunch of little pictures that start showing up. And she goes, right, so, each piece of the collage is its own thing, right? You've got like, you know, this is like a picture of the family, and this is a picture of like someone's dog. But then when you put it all together, it makes a bigger picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why does that dog look like a cat?
Because the artist was whatever. Anyway, so when you
Artistic
make-
liberty.
yeah. When you're making a collage, there are sometimes things go on top of each other, sometimes things go under, right?
Mm.
That's how portals are formed when the things overlap. So inevitably there are pieces that do not connect and portals can't go there, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there are always places, right, where the collage doesn't quite connect. That's where these rocks are from, or this stone, rather. It's
And-
from the place where the collage doesn't connect.
An interstice.
Yeah.
A space.
Scientifically speaking, it's called the in-between.
Very scientific.
Yeah, science is here to make things whatever. Anyway, yeah.
So,
And things from there should not be able to come to things that do not exist there.
because it technically cannot exist because it doesn't ever touch any of the other planes, yes?
Precisely. It doesn't touch any plane. It's completely outside of everything.
And now it's melding into other planes.
Okay, so
I-
wait a fucking second. So that weird place we went when we touched it, you think is that like the in-between place?
I mean, I don't know. I've not touched it yet.
I don't
know-
really get this metaphor because, like, a collage exists within the space with which we create it, so I'm not following, but cool.
Okay, so, like, look at this. And she points to a piece that's, like, slightly off. It's still part of it, but it's like it wasn't put on perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like someone glued it wrong. So there's that little space where it should be connected, but it's not. And this in between is where it's not connected. Technically, that doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist because it's not on a plane of reality.
Yeah, pretend the board isn't there and it's just these things floating.
Yeah.
Infinite.
And she waves her hand, and that happens. The board vanishes, but the things are still floating.
So it's nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be nothing, is
It
what you're
should.
saying.
Exactly. And typically it's because it either doesn't connect, or the things that are within or close, it's too small for anything to actually exist there. It's like the gap between your teeth at that point. It's big enough for things to get caught, but you can, nothing's staying there long.
So it's getting bigger?
Maybe?
I want to note that Maria is like stroking her beard while she's thinking these thoughts.
Yes, perfect.
So the universe is losing its teeth?
Kinda. Yeah, it actually, yeah. Yeah, kinda like that, I guess.
Wait, so...
Uncomfortable.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh. Either way, that doesn't, it doesn't really sound that good.
No, it's not. I mean, anything that shouldn't exist, existing is typically a bad thing.
Do you have any sense that the use of these orbs is detrimental to that? Like it might be exacerbating the effect?
I mean, no. I don't see why it would.
Okay.
A
journal,
person...
though.
I mean, a person should not be able to impact it too much. We don't possess enough.
Huh. But if there was
actually-
a lot of things in it, maybe.
Yes. Or something really big. There was this man named Sile. It was a few hundred years ago. He wrote a book about gods, actually. And he was one of the establishing individuals with how gods are gods within Sigil, right? We know those rules, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the primary one is you've got to exist across several planes, yeah?
Right.
Sybil,
What?
do you have a question?
About what?
You look confused.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. Do you want a cookie?
Hell yeah.
She goes and grabs a cookie and... Yeah, one for all of you.
Hey, thanks.
For being attentive listeners.
Nice.
Navori is absolutely taking notes, by the way, because she
So-
doesn't feel like she'll remember half of it.
So to... Not... A god has to be able to travel across a plane without the portal, right? It was thought that they have to travel between this in-between.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and even if it's for like an infinitesimal moment, they're able to thin the gap just enough to step through, make their own little portal of sorts. And that's what he thought. We've not really gotten the chance to speak with a god.
curious thing. Based on that theory or whatever, would a god be able to bring anyone with them if they did that?
I mean, sure, why not?
Okay.
God's a god.
Well, I might be able to ask a god about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was-
good. Who are
was,
you connected with? Dinara?
Oh no.
Oh.
You know,
Rona? Oh, you don't
No.
strike me. No?
no.
No, he's pretty underground. I never heard of him.
Yeah, you know why I wanted that book? Well, a deity that I am tied to wanted me to get it, yeah? And they sort of brought me here from another plane that I don't even fucking know the name of. But, I don't think they used a portal, they just kind of, blipped. And I was
Oh,
there,
I like
and-
blipping.
Yeah.
I don't like blipping. It breaks a lot of laws. And not laws, but like laws of magical and metaphysics.
Yeah, well, it happened, sorry.
Yeah, it does, and it sucks.
But yeah, they've been around. They helped me here. They're probably listening and chuckling at how
good.
stupid we are.
Wonderful. What's its name?
That is a good question. Navori says, looking up at nothing in particular.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they haven't told me yet. They're sort of getting used to being a god, but apparently they can do that, so that's good. Navori holds her thumbs up.
Yeah, well, okay, so, yeah, so this stone is from a place that technically doesn't exist.
I see.
If it is, well, it's clearly from there, and so that means what doesn't exist is beginning to exist, and that's a bit of a problem. Because, when the space gets bigger, it moves everything out of the way.
Wait.
Oh.
Aren't we already dealing with an infinite...
Oh, no, there's finite space. Once you get to the edges, it starts burning away.
Okay, I hate that.
Yeah, it's not...
Oh.
Yeah,
That's not good.
yeah. Yeah, there's quite finite space.
Hey guys, so what are we gonna do about the Thieves Guild and the orb?
Not fucking give it to them!
Yeah, but I mean the orb currently at this point in time. Like, fucking duh, we weren't gonna give it. Yeah, Navori, I was
know.
just gonna
You're
pick up
wondering...
the orb and
that's
go
all
downtown.
I think
Oh, please. I
We
think
sh-
we just
we should
don't know yet.
probably speak to someone with a little bit of authority in handling dangerous magical artifacts and securing
I
them.
don't want authorities to know about my orb.
Oh, well, if you're seeking authority, the prime authority is, Draconis.
Literally.
Lateral.
just said.
Alright, well,
Yeah, Sybil, I don't listen to you when it comes to authority. Sorry. I mean, I love you, sister. But
Okay,
I
but
know how you feel about it.
you just
You
said
know
the Thieves Guild is like a fucking mafia. They don't got their fucking hands all over this guy, do they?
Oh, no. Draconis Latrell is the premier, yeah.
Wasn't he the guy that yelled at us?
Yeah, yeah, I stole, in fairness, I thought it was just a fancy cup, and I knew you were thirsty, but yeah, it turns out it was, well, it was a chalice that was an ancient art. That's not the point. Yes, he yelled at
Oh
us.
no, I mean like me and Nave.
Wait, what? We got yelled
Yeah,
at by
didn't
some
we?
little gnome guy. What you talking?
Oh right, but there was a dragon guy in that room.
I mean, maybe it was him. I don't fucking know who those guys are.
Yeah.
You probably would more than me.
Simple
Oh, right.
thinks
Did you
about
get that
it.
book?
Sybil, make a history check just to remember that far back.
Hell fucking yes.
'Cause it's been a lot.
I know. It's been a long time. 8.
No. All you can think of is the time he yelled at you and Phoebe.
Sybil gets kind of lost in her thoughts, and as she does, the image of who she's supposed to be distorts.
Yeah. Sybil,
Yeah.
come back. Come back.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, is that something you do now?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't like
I'm
that.
doing it right
Please
now,
stop.
so I guess it's something I do now.
She also desaturates sometimes.
Oh.
Right, so are we gonna go see this guy?
Wait, no, wait! Did you get the book?
Oh, I'm trying. It's a bit difficult to get.
Okay.
But
Now you know. There's a fucking
Yes.
god that wants it. Might
Yep.
be able to help you with your research. All the more incentive to get.
Is there more that you have to glean from this orb? I mean, it seems pretty safe with you.
yeah, I mean, like, we can keep doing research, but yeah.
She looks at Sybil.
Sybil looks at Maria, uncomprehending.
Do you feel alright leaving it here with Professor Grundle and your sister?
Okay,
I
do
mean-
you guys feel alright keeping it here, knowing who might come looking for it?
Hmm.
I mean, we've got plenty of stuff that the Thieves Guild wants.
Okay, so they just can't waltz in, just take
No.
shit. Alright.
The only
Good.
reason you guys can waltz in is because you're with Sybil.
Yeah, I know. Navori looks up and remembers all the times she tried to get in here. No avail.
Aw.
Okay, well, as long as you guys are fine with that, then I think this is a good place to keep it.
Hmm.
So what we need to talk to this Draconis guy for? I'm really bad with authority. I shouldn't
I
say
feel
anything at all.
I feel like the notion of a space in between that isn't supposed to contain anything pushing reality to the edges until it burns might be something we want to tell someone about.
See, this is why we brought you, because you think of these things.
I never don't think of these things.
I'm sorry. Alright, yeah, that's probably a good idea, I guess.
Great, let's go do that.
Where do we find him? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not in his office right now, but I can give you his address.
Oh, we have to go to his house?
It's not really his house, it's just like the shop he owns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she gives you a little piece of paper with an address written on it, and at some point, Professor Grundle kind of waddled up and handed her a little potion, and she chugged it down, and her body slowly reformed itself back to normal. She goes, ugh, hate that,
Goodness.
hate that.
Yeah, I do too.
You alright, Sybil?
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh-huh,
I'm just on my grind right now.
uh-huh. Make a deception check, please.
Ooh, at disadvantage versus little sister.
Yeah, actually, yeah, disadvantage.
Wait, deception or...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then 11.
Phoebe just gives you a long look, and you know you can come. Can you two give us a moment?
Oh yes, we can
Oh,
go
yeah.
right outside immediately. Let's go.
No, I mean,
And she
Professor
goes.
Grundle is here, and I...
Yeah,
Professor Grundle is gone.
Yeah. He's just like fucking
Where
apparated.
did he go?
Yeah, he's just
Where did
gone.
he come from? Where did he go?
He slipped out on his sneaky goblin feet.
Yeah.
they are all alone.
Yeah,
All right.
we're loitering in the
There's
hall.
just a void silence as everyone is gone, and there's just Sybil looking at Phoebe. But it's not Sybil, it's a lad.
Sybil,
Yeah.
can I see your actual face? Think real hard. Just think real hard about Just think real hard about showing me your face.
Okay. So Sybil tries to do that, and it doesn't work. What happens is she starts off as a kid, you know, a little more round in the features, long reddish braids. And then she turns into Sybil, but it's not right. It again looks like a paint smear over where her face was. Or is.
What's wrong with you?
I don't really know.
Okay.
And her voice is not the same.
Good. That's perfect. You know, you can talk to me, right? And I'm not like asking, I'm just making sure you remember.
Yeah, I know.
About you know, the times that I got dumped. Which admittedly isn't that big of a deal now, but at the time I thought I was gonna die. All the times we've talked about the strange stuff that we feel because Dad left.
I don't really think that is quite the same, Phoebes.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, I've not experienced half as much as you have, but I'm always here.
Yeah. And I hope to keep it that.
I hope it's not.
Yeah, that's fine, but I hope the opposite, so it's a bit of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, that's what siblings are about, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've heard a bit about what you've done, and I'm proud of my sister for
What,
doing exciting
what did you
things.
hear?
I heard that you saved some people.
Okay, so Phoebe is talking, but Sybil is, shifting, and she looks like Skalai.
Oh.
Phoebe doesn't realize the significance of that, but she does look like Skalai, and she's like, "Oh, really?
Oh, he's ugly. He looks
oh,
real smackable. Like he'll pinch your bum.
I don't know." She looks at her hands, but she doesn't like.
Yeah.
Can't tell. She's like, "Yeah, I mean, he probably does. I'm gonna take your word for it."
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I heard you save some people, and that's cool. Not really what. It's not really what I don't think you expected that. I didn't expect that you'd go be a hero. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, we're back.
It's
Hey.
only you and only during times of role playing.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either of us thought you'd be saving people.
Not really. No.
Batman.
Well, you did, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, listen, alright, I'll deal with my shit, and you just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're gonna wind up saving more people than me, and that's pretty important.
I mean, yeah, but I'm only gonna do it because I had you. Duh. I had to do better than someone at school.
That's a really low bar, Phoebes.
We've all got to set a bar.
Uh,
Listen, I'm just saying you've always been a big inspiration for me, and I've only wanted to do good in your eyes, because Mom's always, she's impressed by just the fact that we're alive still. You know, neither of us are... Well, yeah, I blow myself up, and you go on adventures now.
yeah. I think what happens is Sybil shifts back to her faceless self, and there's just a very long, uncomfortable moment of trying to look at someone without a face as they stare at you silently.
Oh, you need to talk to someone about it. You're not gonna
I
talk
don't
to
really
me.
know what my problem is to talk about it, so
I mean, you're clearly not feeling like yourself anymore, like you don't matter, or I don't know, any depersonalization, really. You're doing everything you can to not look like a person. Like, just wiping the face away.
I mean, I looked like a person a minute ago, and it was pretty convincing.
Yeah, but it wasn't you.
Yeah.
You're doing everything you can to not be you. Trust me, I took classes on this. I don't know what to do, but I know how to look at it.
Why did you take classes on that? That's not even your major.
I needed electives.
Should have taken something more useful.
Eh. Get to tell all the boys why they're, useless and inconsequential.
Yeah, be careful with that. You sound like my ex.
Oh. I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Which one was that?
The one in the district,
Oh.
that one.
Josephine?
Yeah, Josephine. Listen,
yeah.
I need to go. If I figure out my shit, I'll tell you. But I really I'm trying. There's important things to do, but I can't be thinking about it. I gotta go fucking talk about a man about an orb and hope that my friend comes back from the fucking hellscape that we just got out of and all that shit. And
At this
apparently this man's coming. Yeah, there's stuff, Phoebe. We'll talk about it one day.
Yeah, and then at this point there's a quiet happen in the back of the lab, and she turns and, oh god damn it.
Yeah, alright,
All right.
you take care of that.
Yeah,
Alright, bye.
Love you, sister.
Love you too.
Bye.
And when she walks out of the door, she is, again, the student.
Wait, she's the lad again, or?
Yes, I'm assuming she's the lad again.
Okay. Ed, can you hear us? Oh no.
Oh no. What's happened?
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go.
It's always, when you type, it always comes back. Just keep finger
Yeah.
mashing. So, Draconis was the name? We have address now? Are we going to the address?
Yeah, I guess.
Are we
Navori
going
looks
to the
at
address,
Sybil.
or are we gonna see if the others are back? I don't know.
Well,
We don't even know where they went.
there's that, and there's the consideration of how much we actually want to tell this person that we haven't felt out yet.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even gonna think about it because I shouldn't be talking to them. That's your thing.
Oh boy.
I don't know which one of us you're talking to.
Probably Maria. Unless you're good with talking to authority about, planes doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
Can pretend to be someone who's good at talking to authority.
That's not quite the same thing.
For me, it is.
We should have a talk about that sometime. Anyway.
Nah. So, are we going back to the Adventurers Guild?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
If we have a curiosity, if nobody shows up by tomorrow, we should A, wonder where they've gone, and B, perhaps we can check out the store as curious shoppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And back to the Adventurers Guild.
Okay. So, Clive and Cass, you guys step through the portal back into Sigil.
Uh-huh.
Are you just heading back to the Adventurers Guild?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Oh my god, hold on. Yeah, there we go. So, you guys head into the Adventurers Guild, pushing the doors open, finding the busy common room, busy as ever. You see Ardania slinging papers behind the desk. You see Sybil's mother there standing right next to her doing the same. Both are completely engaged with their tasks, working hard and fast. What are you guys going to be doing in the Adventurers Guild?
Waiting for the others, I guess.
Okay. You guys just find a place and order up some food, I guess.
Yep.
Find your little corner and hang out with the knowledge that you have, just waiting with it. Minnow, where did your walk take you? Just around the block and back.
Just wandering around as far as she can go without really thinking about where she's going.
And
Okay.
then she's lost forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she goes to beat up some thieves guild by herself.
Oh my
Ironically.
God.
No.
Okay, so do you eventually go back to the Adventurers Guild?
She's probably the last to come back.
Okay. Then let's move to the other ladies, with their dad. You guys have been coming back to the Adventurers Guild without any issues. Completely left alone. Maria, your dad-like demeanor. Possibly
beard
keeping people
stroking.
away.
Yeah, it's beard stroking.
Yeah. So you guys enter the Adventurers Guild and immediately see Kess and Clive over in the corner, eating away, just kind of being Kess and Clive. And then you go take a seat. And Minnow, this is when you come in. Finding everyone kind of settling in into the corner. Not quite talking yet, but settling in. Do you just head on over to them too? Or are you keeping your distance?
Apprehensively, she'll go sit down.
Okay.
Maria's a dad, and the two kids are nerds.
Maria's a
that's
dad,
probably-
Sybil is a lad.
Oh
So
no!
confusing.
Is this the new God of War game? It's awful.
Please say boy.
All right.
Boy.
So,
Stroking her beard.
you guys are all at the table once more. What's going to happen?
This is gonna sound like a weird question, but how long have we been gone?
What? It's been like, it's not even been a day. Where'd you
No.
go? Just wander around.
We went to Barovia.
I thought, I
Okay.
could have helped you with that.
What?
It's fine. We made the journey on our own. And we're
Yes, clearly. How'd it go?
I never said
we
I
met
was
the
gonna
god.
stop her from going. I just-
What?
Wait,
Yeah, we met a god.
which one?
Mari's just seized up.
Yeah,
So,
Nabori's just like, which one?
we went and got, the smaller
Oh.
versions of that lodestone, and
By the way, sitting propped up against the table next to
Oh, no.
Kess is
Oh.
Lightbringer.
Oh. Okay. Oh boy.
we haven't,
Like
we
seeing your
haven't gotten to
ex.
that yet.
Lightbringer has a plate in front
Kyle, you're a little quiet, by the way.
Oh, am I?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I guess my mic was too high up. Yeah, so we used the smaller version of those rocks to go into the weird, creepy dimension, and we met an old dude there, and apparently he was a god. He is a god.
Huh.
I'm going to correct you there. Technically speaking, we were just in the creepy realm.
That's
we
fair.
didn't-
We didn't have to use the rocks this time. It just kind of
Wait.
Excuse me?
So, did they
I don't-
just work on...
I don't know exactly what's going on over in Barovia, but I have a feeling it ain't good.
We.
Okay.
Hey, we learned some things
Uh-huh.
about that. It's called the in-between.
Yeah, that's
That's
what,
what the god
that's
was calling
That's
it.
what the fire god called it.
Well, Phoebe said that it was a scientific term, so I guess fucking not, huh?
Well, I mean, it's a god. What do you expect? They might know a thing or two.
We learned
Yeah.
that gods often use the in-between to do their interplanar traveling.
Well,
So perhaps
yeah.
that's why he was there?
No. He said that he had been pulled there against his
Ah.
Oh. Oh. Navori looks at Cass like...
Cass does not respond to Navori's look.
Sybil
Yeah.
She
also
knows?
looks at Kess like, hey, I was right.
Yeah, Navori was thinking that before, too.
Does Sybil's face just become the smug meme?
It's not, it's not even like a smug, hey, I was right. It's like, hey, I was right, and I'm happy for you.
Ah.
Because now you're one step closer.
Cass doesn't look like she buys the excuse, but, you know.
So, okay. Fire god. Did he have a name?
Gerpa.
See, I forgot.
That doesn't sound familiar to Navori.
Nope.
He's a fire god back on my plane,
Oh. Interesting.
which makes me kind of wonder how things are going on back there. But
Oh, did he have any idea why he had been deliberately pulled to in-between?
not a clue.
Did he, was he happy?
No.
Did he...
No, I think he was pretty happy to not be there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, were
Okay.
any of us happy while we were there?
No.
There's no
Well,
telling
I
how long
mean-
he's been there either.
Okay, so he didn't fucking like it, and he thought something brought him there.
Oh,
So
and he said the
apparently against his
rocks.
will.
He said the rocks were looking at him when he looked at them.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Great.
wonderful! More fucking eyeballs
So,
to cover.
Let's not open that box up unless we absolutely need to.
Okay. You know, lighter note, how are the people doing over there? They good? They managed
It's
to
been
like...
15 years.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's how time works between planes.
They're doing good. Still a bit rough out there, but I mean they're kind of just starting their own civilization. So
Well, supplies are coming.
Did you see a weird little stick thing? Circular stick thingy. Is it still there?
I mean I didn't really look for it, but it said something about there was some kind of cleric there now. So maybe your god picked up a second fall, or
Hey! We did some good. I mean, maybe, though. You know, there was that, moon
yeah. I mean I don't know.
lady
really.
thing, too.
We were in a bit of a hurry, so.
Okay, well, that's neat. Granted, it's fucking weird. It's been 15 years. It hasn't even been, a week or something over here, has it?
Time.
Oh, and Clive gestures over to the this thing wouldn't shut up until we took it with us.
What do you mean?
Grab it and find out.
Mari doesn't look like she likes
This
that.
is the adventurer version of Pull My Finger.
Yeah, pretty much. She kind of looks at it sort of like but she wraps her tail around it like she doesn't want to touch it with her hand.
Hold on, I think are we still
No, I'm not.
Okay. Anyway, so is Navori touching it?
Yeah, she wrapped her tail
Alright.
around it.
Oh my god.
You hear a
So,
you
Are we
okay,
giving-
buddy?
You're choking me.
Oh, sorry. Mari loosens up her tail.
why did you take it back? Did it want to see Minnow?
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
Sybil looks at Minnow.
well, Minnow's gonna reach over after Navori's.
The way he made
Done
it
with
sound, it was like a bad breakup.
Oh. Navari sort of she sort of leans it over with her tail to,
You broke its
make it
heart.
easier for Minnow to
Well,
grab.
that statement just made her, like, hand hovering over the, like, shaft of the spear, like...
Like,
Oh, dear.
Wow.
Warning. Anyway, well, the intent was that it stays home as a memory to what...
Yeah, they didn't want it. They asked us to take it.
jeez.
It was it's been in a shed for 15 years.
Oh.
Well,
Well, that sucks.
They didn't even like wall mount it or anything.
She takes it.
Okay.
apparently no one there was worthy of it.
I
Minnow,
mean, when I... Oh.
Minnow, when you grab it, you hear a, "Ah, yes, my chosen wielder. I missed you, worthy one."
I mean, when I touched it, it just sort of made a constipated noise.
Well, it's not... No. And she, like, kind of mumbles to it, and this do too. But, she's gonna give it a little pat, and then, like, kind of set it off to the side next to her.
Hey guys, I've been trying to just black out the whole thing that happened in Barovia, but that wasn't happening before, right?
What? No,
What's-
I mean not the way it happened when we saw it. It almost seemed like it's getting worse.
Yeah, you know what? We learned some things about that. The whole...
No, I meant the staff, Polar and
Oh.
Lightbringer.
Yeah, that too. That's weird.
Well, in any case, it seems happier.
Maybe it'll tell Minnow what's going on.
I can certainly ask.
Why would it know anything? It's a fucking polearm.
I mean,
I
it's
mean,
it's
it's
a
now
whole-
talking. Who fucking
It's
knows
been in
what
a
it
shed
knows?
for 15 years.
Well, it was always talking to me.
Wait, what? I just asked if it was always talking to you.
Oh.
Said no. You didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything.
Well,
Yeah.
then
Yes.
I guess it's still doing its thing.
Mm-hmm. I can
I just-
understand him now. It.
You couldn't before.
Not always.
Huh.
So, wait. This thing was talking to you the whole time and you just didn't think to say anything? And Sybil breaks back into her voice. You were having a fucking weapon talking to you and you just didn't say, "Hey guys."
It was always in the heat of battle and not going to be announcing that when we're fighting for our lives against an army of undead.
You didn't think like the hours that we spent together on watch, you'd be like, "Hey Sybil, this fucking polearm was..."
Or like all the time we spent walking into oblivion. You know?
Well, we had plenty of other things to talk about at the time.
Was it
And
like articulating?
no,
Okay.
it was just a language I don't even understand, so...
But I guess it wasn't like being mean, so that's good. Navari just sort of looks questionably like she's
Minnow
trying to
thinks-
find a silver lining. She doesn't really know what she's looking for here.
Minna thinks back on the last vivid thing she remembers, the yelling, and that was everything needs to burn.
Oh,
She
yeah.
just keeps that to herself.
Yeah.
No, it's it just was never the right time. But I am assuring you that it's for a righteous cause, and that comes out a little hard. And it'll be fine. Thank you for bringing it back, you two.
Yeah, you're welcome, I guess.
Okay. So who
Hey
wants to...
guys, what are
What?
we doing?
I mean, we haven't told them about, like, the planes burning up shit yet.
What's this about the what?
So
Yeah.
That
we,
sounds a lot important, I say.
a little bit. Apparently, there's a sense that this in-between space, which isn't supposed to exist in any large amount, big enough for a god to thread the needle through, is
Or
getting...
have creatures in it.
Yes, isn't supposed to have anything in it. It isn't supposed to exist because it isn't supposed to touch any other plane of reality. So it's getting bigger, and apparently the universe is finite now, and I hate that. And the bigger in between gets, the closer it pushes the planes to the edge of a finite space. At which point,
Gonna knock us all out like teeth in a mouth.
yeah.
That burn when they are knocked out. Like, it just like, evaporates planes or something.
So
Huh.
we have a lot of puzzle pieces in our hands now that all point fingers or eyeballs back at in between. We were given a name to talk to, and that's all.
Yeah, I mean, we were given a name to talk to, but like, also, there are those two teachers that just quit. That was really weird. I still think that's something we should look into, but presently, what are we doing about our current problem?
The Thieves Guild?
Yeah.
Well, Kess and I are now in agreement that maybe giving the Thieves Guild the smaller stones isn't a good idea.
Absolutely.
They
no,
probably fucking know something.
Yeah, that's kind of my guess. I almost kind of want to say we go down there, thrash their asses, and make them talk.
There's probably a whole lot of them.
Yeah, there's, that sort of a thing. You don't really want to go into someone else's turf like that, because they'll fucking swarm you.
Well, we have a means of contacting them, and we could set up some sort of actual discussion in a neutral territory.
I suppose we could parlay with them, but not in their den.
No.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Certainly not with the stones anywhere on our
Hey.
persons.
Guys, Sybil, by the way, weird. She raises a finger and she's like, maybe I could try. I mean, they're not going to talk to us in the Adventurers Guild, probably, but maybe I might know someone who could give us a bit of a turf advantage.
Who's
I'll
that?
have to ask around. Oh, well, I know a few people, but I'm gonna have to ask around.
Fair enough. I do think...
Navori's... Sorry.
Oh no.
Keep going.
I do think planning this out carefully and trying to exchange information with the Thieves Guild might be a good idea.
When they're talking, Navori's looking around to see if anyone in particular is looking at them.
Make
Yeah,
a
Minnow's
perception-
been watching too.
Both of you make perception checks.
Oh, good.
Natural fucking 20!
Hey!
Yeah.
Wait for the
Navori's
natural one.
vicious.
A 4.
Oh no!
She's upset the more this is discussed.
Yeah, Minnow,
Thinking
you
about
are.
home.
Yeah, you are very distracted, Minnow. Kind of fading in and out of the conversation a little bit. Navori, hawk-like vision. You know what it is to be listened to. You are used to needing to be very aware of your surroundings at all times. No one seems to be paying you any mind in particular.
Okay. She squints looking around for a second, like she's gonna do that thing where you point at your eyes and then point at the other person's eyes.
Yeah.
But she never does. She just seems satisfied after just giving the place a look over. Well,
So, order of operations here, I think we continue to look for some place to have a meeting with the Thieves Guild, and that will take some time.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
We need some things they want other than the orb.
I mean, take some time. Who the fuck do you think I am? That could take like a night. Maybe less.
fair enough.
yeah, I kind of know some places too, especially some ones they might be particular to agreeing about, like shady back alleys and shit, I guess.
As far as the negotiation goes, we do have something they want. We're just not ever planning on giving it to them, and we don't need them to know that. And we have a name to investigate, Draconis. However, given the suspicion of the teachers dropping out of the magisterium, as Sybil pointed out, I think we should feel him out as a person before we speak of any of this to him.
Oh, I don't think he's behind it. I
No.
think that the teachers might have found something they don't particularly like.
Well, I mean, he might know something about that, yeah?
That's true. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
A little paranoia. We'll visit the shop. We'll see if we like what we see. Yes?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Alright, so should I go do my thing
Yes,
for
I
this
think so.
meeting? Cool.
Minnow, you okay?
This is a lot to take in, but I'm just taking it in. I'll be fine.
Do you have a concern you would like to raise?
Minnow exists in a perpetual state of concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, Nania too, but a badass.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I barely have an idea of what the hell's going on, so I'm just gonna leave the harder stuff to you guys, and you can explain it to me, okay?
That's fair enough.
God, I love Clive.
Such a good boy.
Okay. So, Sybil, are you using Noah Guy?
I am using Noah
Yes.
Guy. I forgot how to use that mechanic.
So did I actually. Hold on.
I just figured you would have it ready in your particular for me to use because you asked me about it earlier.
Okay. What kind of person are you looking for?
Okay. Here's an idea.
Uh-huh.
So, Sybil's probably looking for someone who just kind of knows a venue and is willing to throw hands. But I feel like Sybil would probably go speak to her ex, Josephine.
Okay.
Bum bum bum!
Alright, make a charisma roll.
Just a straight charisma roll?
Yes, just a d20.
With no modifiers, it's just the like
Uh,
+4 or
Yeah, with your mod. D20 plus mod.
Okay. Okay, this is a little difficult for me because I'm proficient in charisma, but I don't know if that matters.
D20 plus mod. That's it.
Okay. 15.
Okay. You guys watch Sybil saunter out of the Adventurers Guild, trepidation in your gaze.
Oh, she doesn't. She goes upstairs and changes out of her white robe first.
Okay, well, yeah, regardless.
Alas.
You guys watch Sybil saunter out, and you all kind of inwardly hope for the best. Sybil,
Yeah.
you sauntered your way over to the red light district.
Yep.
Josephine was an ex, alright. You shared a nice 6 months together.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a phase of yours where
a weird time.
you use the word woke to describe yourself
Oh, Jesus.
consistently. You took to wearing too many necklaces.
I smoked
And you
way too much of the devil's
Space
lettuce.
weed.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes!
And you believed in the healing power of crystals. And not just like the
So was
actual
it-
healing power of crystals, but like the healing power of crystals.
Yeah, she'd
Sybil-
leave them on her windowsill. This
Yeah.
Sybil was a Berkeley girl.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you head down, and you know that Josephine believed very firmly in true liberation falls within subjugating men to your every whim. And to this point, you're not completely against to this day. You find her establishment called the Prancing Peony. It is a brothel in which Josephine specializes in song, dance, and denigrating men. Not anything specific, just largely calling them shit and making them feel really bad about themselves.
Yeah, Sybil feels kind of weird about it.
Man,
Yeah.
why would I ever want to go there? I can do that on my own.
You push your way into the Prancing Peony.
Like Josephine always seemed too into it.
Yeah,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
she's a legitimate man-hater as far as you're concerned.
Oof.
Yeah, Sybil
Um,
wasn't about that life. She's
Yeah.
not that kind of lesbian.
So you push your way in, and you see kind of a typical brothel scene. People of all races draped on chaise lounges made out of velvet with soft red lighting all throughout the room. Women and men in half dress and individuals in between. Individuals that may not conform to any standard. You're really not, you don't care necessarily.
Yeah, Sybil's not judging. I want to say Sybil is standing there though for a moment, hands on her hips, like, maybe I shouldn't take my mom, my other mom, my 12-year-old, my narc best friend, and a dog to the brothel.
Oh,
but
no.
Clive's okay.
Please take them to the brothel.
Clive's okay.
Clive would just like stand there and politely decline any like.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, Clive might
No,
like,
thank you,
Clive,
ma'am.
Clive would just have a nice conversation with someone, but it wouldn't be awful.
Yeah,
Um,
he's not really. He doesn't judge, but he's not really about that. My dog is grumbling at me.
Oh.
we're almost done, dog. We're almost done, dog. What's her name, by the way?
I named her Dakota.
Oh.
Dakota.
So, Sybil, as you're looking around, just, thinking, you hear a voice shrill in the corner. You stupid fucking man! I'm gonna step on you and make you die! And you hear a
there
guy.
she is.
Yeah, and you just,
We're
yeah.
here already.
and then you really think about you think to yourself, how does she work? She's not very good at this.
Hello?
Oh boy. Oh my god.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey.
Yeah, you think to yourself, she's not really creative with the insult. She just says she wants to kill a lot. Yeah, so you turn to look at her, and there's this woman in a very low-cut dress. She is very, very pale with long, dark hair. Busty. And she is standing in front of a man who is just sitting in a chair looking up at her in awe as she just shrilly calls him very boring bad names. She's like, you piece of shit. I'm gonna step on you. You should have never been
kind of
born."
sighs and is like, God, she just thinks like, man, she's so not my type. How did we spend 6 months together? And she's just gonna walk over, stand at the door frame, and just knock knock.
Sybil!
Hey.
She looks up and just kicks the man in the chest, and he falls over and whimpers.
Josie, sorry to interrupt you at
Darling!
work.
She just runs over and grabs you in a hug.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I've missed
Oh,
you.
You're looking great. That dress looks wonderful on
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Did you just come to see me? I'm in the middle of a session, but I can kick him out. He'll probably pay me for it.
Well, Sybil looks at the guy.
The guy is just kind of laying on his back, staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, I have a kind of private thing I want to talk about, so maybe he should go.
Hey, Bobby, you stay here for a minute. And she looks back at you and, all right, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, let's go.
She trots after you, and she trots, not just walks, trots. She does her best deer impression, and it's really embarrassing.
Oof. Yep. So Sybil's gonna... There's a sequence in which Sybil opens up a few doors, and there's, like, people inside, and she's like, sorry, oh, okay, I'm alright. And eventually finds an empty room.
You
and
know,
locks
Sybil,
the door.
You know, typically I'd ask you to pay, but God, I missed you.
Oh, I know. I missed you too. I've been really busy. I've been adventuring. Like, I've been off playing.
Oh my God, tell me all about it.
Oh, it's great. Listen, I will absolutely tell you all about it, but I've just got a bit of a pertinent thing happening. Hey, I had a run-in with the Thieves Guild, and just in a...
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Do you need
I'm
anything?
Yeah, well, I kinda do need one thing.
What do you need?
Alright,
Sweetie.
I need a place to parlay with these motherfuckers.
Where did you learn that word?
I think it was from one of my party members.
Oh, I didn't know you were partying lately.
No, like adventure party.
Oh, are those exciting? Do you drink a lot? Because I drank this wonderful spicy thing lately that really, it turned me inside out for a night. And that was weird.
Well, I mean, it's more like you kind of face the threat of death consistently, and that's an adrenaline rush.
Oh.
So,
God.
Okay.
yeah. I just think that with your demeanor, you wouldn't quite love... I mean, maybe you'd love it. You wouldn't like losing. No one does.
No,
but...
Okay, what do you need a place to parlay with the thieves? Oh my God.
I
can't... Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Why only me? Hello?
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 Okay, we're back.
It's like we all had to speak at once to summon you back.
Yeah. Like Tinkerbell.
Alright.
So you need a place to parlay with the thieves?
Yeah, I think it might be a bit of a problem. Listen, I don't know what their ties are here. Maybe you know a place. I need a place with a lot of people who are willing to beat the shit out of them. I mean, okay, maybe not all of them, but like enough people. A place where if someone drew a knife, a bunch of other people would draw a knife.
Oh, I know. Okay, so, what you want to do...
Yeah.
Is you're gonna try and find... the Dancing Dragon Twister Inn.
Dancing Dragon Twister Inn.
Yeah, it's this really cool place I found, and it's like a bunch of... Oh, I don't know if you've seen them recently. They fly the ships that go around. No, don't use that word. And she just boops you on the nose.
Privateers?
Sailors, sweetie.
Okay.
They don't really like any fighting there because like one fight can really just turn into a lot because they get all riled up and they got magic and like just it's bad, so they don't let any fights.
Okay, alright. No fighting. No fighting in the Dancing Dragon Twister Inn.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, okay. I'll try to whereabouts is that? Is that uptown? Downtown?
It's downtown by the wharf. I don't think you've ever been there. You never really had a reason to go. But let me tell you, those sailor boys, they got a lot of money.
Yeah, bet. I mean, they're out at sea all the time, no one to step on them. Hey, this was great. Speaking of stepping on someone, you've got a guy, and if you leave him alone too long, you know how those motherfuckers are, he'll just get up and leave. So I think I'm gonna get out your hair and go take a look downtown.
Sweetie? Honey? This isn't for free.
Oh, of course.
So, Sybil, I miss you. Let's go on a date.
Sybil was reaching into her pocket for money. And she's just like, a date?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've just got a lot of jobs right now, and the Thieves Guild, they legitimately kidnapped one of my friends, so I don't think it's very safe to just be going out right this moment. You might get into more trouble than you bargained for.
Fine. You owe me a date, though.
Of course.
Okay, now leave. Go!
Alright, bye!
Leave like you left me. Oh, they're gone.
Sybil turns out, and it's very dramatic, and there's a rush of wind and, like, gold rose petals as she exits the room.
God. The Utna theme plays in the background.
And she just spends, like, her time going back vaping her cares away.
Yes!
She's gotta vape the bad taste out of her mouth.
Bye. Oh, that sweet, sweet stack of waffle flavored vape juice.
Gross.
Yeah, it made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay. So, Sybil, you make it back to the Adventurers Guild. We're only going to go a little bit longer here. You head back to the Adventurers Guild, and were you guys up to anything while Sybil was gone?
The only thing Mario wanted to do was talk to Ardania about her names, but that's it.
Okay. Ardania told you that she hasn't really had much time to look into the names.
Okay, that's fair.
But she's gonna get on it soon.
Cool.
Kess really wants to go talk to her priest friends.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So you are able to actually go back, or yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I mean, so she's actually gonna sort of inform. This is when Sybil has returned.
Okay.
She's going to inform the rest of them of what she found the last time. Hey, I found some friends who worship my god. Who would have thought? And is going to like offer if they want to come with it.
Navori
What they
does.
want to do.
Sybil
Sure.
seems so touched.
Yeah, Navori's just like, first of all, she's really happy that Kess found someone else, and secondly, she totally fucking wants to go.
Sybil's like, are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes. Otherwise, I would have said nothing.
Yep. I totally want to go. Thank you.
Sybil's heart breaks in the background, and she follows.
All right.
Alright.
So now she's got the caveat is her, finding the place again.
Okay. Give me a history check.
History or survival?
Actually, yeah, survival. Sorry, I was thinking as I said that.
Alright.
Cool. You guys follow Kess. You're really not sure where she's leading you, but Kess is walking with determination. And yeah, it's not too long until Kess, you find the little door that has the symbol of Ilkesh on it.
Well, she knocks.
There's the hold on. And I don't know, 20, 30 seconds pass before the door opens, and everyone but Navori has to look down to see a dwarf standing there, or well-fitting white robes that look completely pure white, a golden sash tied at his waist. And he looks up and, ugh, it's you.
I have some new developments.
Well, come in, Earhart. We'll gladly speak to you.
Hmm.
Who are your friends?
My friends.
Right. And you guys step in, and he actually leads you around what looks like an old cold forge. It looks like this was once probably an armory of some sort that has been closed for some time, as the armor tools that are laying around are very rusty and dusty. This certainly looks older than you would think Kess would like lead you to. Let me change the background picture real quick. And the song, because I want to. Is this the one? Yes. Okay. Within this forge, the dwarf leads you guys around and pushes on a thick iron door in the back of the room. It squeals open, the hinges rusted over. And within, there is a white room full of pews, and an altar that has a large pinion of platinum sitting on it. It is recognizable as the symbol of Ilkesh. And you see, sitting in one of the pews, seemingly reading a book, a large built man. He looks kind of like Reinhardt, by the way, in the face, just to give you a good facial.
Get behind me.
Yeah. And he's wearing thick armor, very, very polished and noble looking, with a book in his hands. As he's just reading quietly.
Cass is gonna take out the box with the 2 orbs in it and walk over to him.
He looks up and, oh, it's you, apprentice paladin.
Internally, she's like rude.
Navori kind of oohs under her breath and looks over at Sybil.
Sybil is like, Sybil, not being able to read that mood is like, apprentice.
Did she say that out loud?
Yeah, of course she did.
What does Kess do?
Nothing. I mean, Cass is just waiting because now Sybil said a thing.
Oh. He looks over, and he arches one white eyebrow, and you see as he looks at you, he is also an Aasimar. Like Kess. Yes, she is an apprentice. She has not passed her rights. Nonetheless, she has worked well.
Cass is like internally, yeah, whose god vanished before I could complete those, right? But anyway.
Sybil looks at Kess and like, again, her face just slowly distorts until she's smoke.
Navori just looks weirdly excited.
If we are through discussing my shortcomings.
They are not shortcomings, they are simply a matter of time. But yes, we are done discussing.
I mean, I would have called it humanizing, but yeah, let's keep going.
There are some things of interest that we have discovered.
Is that so? He
And she
sorry, go ahead.
hands over the box.
He sets his little book aside and takes the box, flips it open nonchalantly and looks into it and oh, I see. These are interesting implements, I see. He reaches in, picks up one of the orbs and holds it up. Where did you find these?
In Barovia,
I don't know that, but...
the plane of undead.
Ah, that wicked place. Before the vanishing, it was thought some of us would go and burn that plane dry.
Partially
She
did it.
tried. Wait,
Excellent.
you beat him to it? Did you burn more of it?
No, Anyway.
We might have killed a couple on the journey up there.
Hey.
Well then, these seem rife with some sort of energy that I can't quite determine.
While we were there, we entered a place called the In-Between. And on our way out, we encountered a god of another plane who had been pulled there against his will.
So it goes with the weaker gods.
Nobody
don't-
kind of squints.
Think it had anything to do with weakness necessarily.
He looks over at you, Clive, and frowns and...
I mean, I ain't exactly the most religious sort, but I didn't really get the sense weakness from him. At least not like the in it weakness. More like he became weak when he was brought to the place.
Yeah, not to be speaking out of turn, but what if that's where, you know, your god is?
Apprentice Paladin?
Hmm.
Who are these individuals that speak to me as if they are unequal?
She clears her throat a bit, and then she goes around and she's like, "This is Clive." And
Hey,
his dog
how's
Boon.
it going?
And this is Sybil,
That's a nice chap.
envoy of Oberon.
Civil waves.
Nevori, newly servant of her new patron.
Navori waves.
Maria. She pauses because she doesn't really have like a subtitle for her.
Undefined, and she nods.
Redacted.
Yeah.
No.
They are the ones I am sharing my present adventure with.
Sorry, Minnow, did you go with them?
And
I
Minnow.
must have been too quiet. It's fine.
And Minolowin. Also hesitates on a subtitle for her because, like, eh.
Yeah.
Bearer of the Lightbringer? Sybil offers.
Well then, Apprentice, I will be addressing them through you. They should know their place better.
Alright,
Navori
well,
has
he
this
says
look
that.
Yeah.
He says that, and immediately Sybil just starts doing slightly distracting things. Like her face
Oh,
will drift a
God.
little to the left, or she'll be Navori, or yeah, like she'll be the background, like just being an absolute rascal on me.
I also imagine that when Sybil turns into Navori, they do that thing like that owl the owl gif where they're sort of
Oh my God.
rotating around each
Oh my
that's
back to
happening
them.
in the background of this conversation.
Yeah, Kess has her back to them, and she can feel it. Like, she can feel the rascaliness.
Yeah, Mari hates it when people are like, know your place, because she's had that told to her so much.
Yeah, Maria just oversees it stone-faced, because this is completely appropriate as far as she's concerned.
Clive looks like he's trying not to laugh,
Yeah.
and Boon is just like watching
Bringing
in
them was a
fascination.
mistake.
Internally, Kess is like, bringing them was a mistake.
High Paladin seems to ignore it like a champ.
He will
As they
remember
were
this.
saying, you believe that... Apprentice, is it your belief that our god, Ilkesh, the Platinum Star, was taken against his will to this plane? Or
No.
this in-between? No, then what is?
I think perhaps whatever happened to him, this may be a consequence of it. Or perhaps his choices.
I see. Well, I will take that into consideration then. You said that you found a fire god within there.
From Clive's home plane.
Hey,
And
how's it going? I'm Clive.
And which home plane would this be?
Eos,
No.
right?
Yeah, Eos.
Yeah. Eos.
He
So
looks
I've
at
been
you,
told.
Cass.
Kess says Eos.
Mari just mouths, "Are you fucking serious?" as she's doing the weird thing.
Clive doesn't really seem to look offended or anything by this guy.
Ah, Gerpa then.
Yes.
Well, he was not a weakling, so there is that. Well then, let us hope that our god is not responsible for this kidnapping of other deities. That would be problematic.
It would. I take it your research has brought you no closer to finding an answer?
No, we have found nothing. Though in truth, I have begun researching different ways to help those pass on.
Hmm.
We cannot allow things to wander within the plane for long. It's beginning to grow crowded.
What news from home?
The kingdoms are restless. The church is beginning to lose credit within the eyes of the people. None are able to pass forward, and that is proving to be a problem.
Maybe a different attitude would help with the whole people thing. Just an advice.
He just looks at you, Cass.
Clive doesn't need confirmation. He knows who the guy
Because I mean, she shares Clive's sentiment, and that's why she's here. But so she just says, "Hmm, they need to stop looking at the short term."
In that I am agreed. Though they are not that visionary. We hope that one will rise, or at least make himself known.
And if he does not, do they have a plan yet?
Of course.
5 doesn't believe him.
There is talk of recalling the rogue paladins, bringing back to help enforce peace and order amongst the spirits.
And Cass's back straightens like, that's not a good idea, because I ain't fucking. But you can't tell. That seems hasty.
There is only talk, as there is talk of many things. Worry not, apprentice.
Yeah, you'll sound like you'll do a lot of talking.
The call has not come out for you yet. But I trust that once it will, you will return home to do your duty. Is that an affirmation or defiance?
Neither. We will see what happens when the call goes out.
That we shall then, apprentice. Is that all you've come to share with me? News of this in-between that gods get stuck within?
Yes.
And what do you wish for me to do with these that you've given?
We will keep them with us, but if you have time to further research something, we would welcome another perspective.
I believe that is a good idea. Done.
My thanks.
Next you visit, we shall have news for you.
And she nods, and she's gonna see herself the fuck out.
All right. He doesn't say anything to the rest of you guys.
Yeah, Navori doesn't expect it. She knows that type.
So you guys are back in the streets, and
Hey, maybe if he pulls that stick out of his ass and stands on it, he'll be able to see something.
God damn.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking rude.
So
This
is
is
the
why I was-
reason I do not serve my plane any longer.
Yeah, I get it. This is why I was never the religious sort, too. Take themselves way
hey.
too seriously.
Listen,
I
not all
didn't-
of them. Not all of them. Some of them are fucking amazing.
Hashtag not all gods.
Sybil just kind of pats the top of Nave's head.
Cass
Aw.
like clears her throat, and she's like, "I did not say I didn't serve my god. I do not serve my plane or misguided sense of whatever it is they're trying to do."
Tonight,
Hey,
what are
uh,
they trying to do?
My plane is where spirits go when they die, and without Ilkesh, none can pass on.
That seems important.
Sybil tries to pretend like that's new information.
And so they are with his loss. The plane is confused, and
I take
Well-
it they never had any kind of contingency plan for this ever happening.
no, and they took things into their own hands. Judgment and well,
Hmm,
regardless, it's complicated.
does that place, like, I mean, they said it was getting full. Is that sort of like, the whole thing with Is there a point when it gets too full, some weird shit's gonna happen?
I don't know. It's never been too full.
Okay.
I feel like we can assume that yes, weird shit will indeed happen.
I mean, it's already kind of fucking happening.
Yeah, feels like a safe assumption to be making considering the state of things.
Maria is internally calculating what the density of a soul is, and she's lost.
Okay. Well, you know what's weird? Is when we talked to Sybil's sister, and I mean we mentioned, you know, gods going through that in-between place. I think that my deity kind of blipped me into sigil. Like, they didn't go through a portal or nothing. They just kind of... I was somewhere else, and then I went with them to here, and now we're here, and... You know, maybe I can ask them what's going on, if, you know, they know anything about... She just sort of gestures.
It's worth a try.
Yeah.
Sybil's spending this whole conversation looking like she has a question and not asking it, so she just kind of finds her fantasy vape and blows some sick butterflies.
Kess like falls into step beside Sybil.
Oh god. Sybil is like, hey Cass.
You look concerned.
Well, no, I mean, it's nothing important. That's why I'm not asking it. I just figured you wouldn't want to talk about it. So.
Kess continues walking beside her, waiting.
Sybil is tense. She's like, hey, when that guy opened the door and greeted you, was that your name?
You? Didn't he just say you?
No, he said Earhart or something like that.
No, that was the paladin that we were talking to.
Oh.
Yeah, more like blowhard.
Yeah, you actually hear like a soft snicker.
Oh, okay. And another thing, how are you like? Sybil doesn't know how to ask the question because it's kind of a weird question. And she's like, "Are you like young for whatever you are?"
You know, back home, I was always told it was rude to ask a lady her age.
I guess, like, she clears her throat and she's like, no, if you mean my apprenticeship, it is because I have never been good at following orders.
Navari grins.
Sybil just kind of stares off into the middle distance for a moment.
Minna's listening intently, but not like looking at anybody. But
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I noticed that. That just seems to be a problem with everyone in the group, kind of.
Minnow's in the back, like,
no, not me. No. Why would you say that? Don't let me in there.
I did not hear anything if anyone said anything in character, but I got the minnow part.
No.
Right. Well, right. Sybil obviously has so much shit she wants to say. She doesn't. Everyone is present. She just claps her hands together and she's like, right, so I found a place where we can go and do the thing.
Hmm.
It's called the double dragon, no, the dancing dragon twister inn. It's where the sailors go.
Really rolls off the tongue. Huh?
Yeah.
Is that a real fucking name of a place?
They fucking named it.
Well,
They don't like fighting, so if anyone starts shit, there's gonna be shit.
That sounds fair enough. What do we want to do first? Do we want to speak to the Thieves Guild first, or do we want to speak to this?
I think it'll go okay. I don't think anyone in this group's really a shit starter.
Sure.
Have you been with the right group? Did you get off at the wrong plane?
I mean, that was sarcasm.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, anyone we've ever started shit with has gotten what's been coming to them for a long time, so...
That's fair.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll just agree with that.
What?
God, this is-
Awkward silence.
Right, okay. Anyway, how are we gonna parlay with people who ain't here? Because we can't go into their little, to be like, write them a formal letter?
Oh,
Have
They
that
have that thing.
device.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, we summon,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
summon the lizard's cat.
Kess,
How-
no, yeah, Kess reaches into the bag of
Oh,
holding.
please
She
do not
pulls
touch
out
it
the
right now. We're not
Yeah.
there yet.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
yes. Do we want to do that when? And in what order?
Wait.
Why not get
What was-
it over with?
What was the other order? Wait. There was another
Go find the
thing.
dragon man.
Yeah, Draconis.
Oh right, that guy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Uh.
Perhaps we should do that first, so that we are armed with as much information as we can.
Alright.
Not a bad idea.
To Draconis.
Okay. So. Yeah, alright. You guys head that way. It doesn't take too long, as moving through this part of the city isn't terribly difficult. And eventually you come upon a rather plain-looking storefront. It is clearly a storefront, as it has a single large bay window with various artifacts, it looks like, in said window. There's like a mannequin wearing a hat. There are what looks like a wheel, a long pole arm of some sort. Just various random things sitting in the window. And the door is slightly cracked open.
March on in.
Okay. As you enter, there's the soft tinkling sound of a bell going off. And
Sybil's not Sybil when she enters, by the way. She doesn't want this guy to recognize her.
okay. There is a few moments where you think to yourself, this place is empty. You don't see anybody in there. Within the store, just a simple desk with various tools on it that look like they may be used for identifying items, like a little pick, a magnifying glass of some sort. And you hear coming from behind a curtain at the back of the store, "I'll be right with you." Do you guys just kind of wait or look around the store at all?
Yeah, looking around the store.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
don't be suspicious.
Okay.
Cass just fucking stands there and waits.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm in almost too.
As you walk around the store, you notice a healthy number of things kind of strewn all around. You see some swords, a few orbs that don't look like they're, anything like the lodestone. They're like crystal orbs. A suit of armor that looks incredibly ancient. It's a lot of very eclectic things. And you see the curtain at the back of the shop move. And you see coming from behind the curtain a thin dragonborn with pale scales and milky white eyes.
Oh!
Fucking knew it.
No! What?
And the door clicks shut behind you guys, and you hear, but to think you came to me. I was
Piss.
hoping that it would be this simple. Hello, friends. And that's
Hey.
where we're gonna end this session.
No!
No!
Come on, Max!
No!
Come on, Max! Let's keep going.
No,
Fuck!
I have work in the morning.
I also have work, but fuck!
Oh, that was a good session.
It was.
I saw that coming from a mile away,
Yeah.
Max. I
Yeah.
was like, how many Dragonborns are in the city involved in this? And the answer is one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you did the voice, I'm like, yep, there it is. It's that guy. That fucker.
And here's the reason why Kess handed off those orbs to the guy before they came here.
Yep. Oh, that was a good time.
Well, let's kill the stream.
Yep.
Okay.
Live stream.